it's a little dead meme. Fuck you, little bitch. You think you can fuck with me? What am I ring? Fuck you, little bitch. Hey, look, I hope it's real. Fuck you, little bitch. You think you can fuck with me? What am I ring? Fuck you, little bitch. You lazy sack of human garbage.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of the Snark Tank podcast. It's me, your host, Chris Raygun, and I'm here with everybody who's normally here, Derek Blackman and Tom Sweeny. We got something to say before we jump into everything. We've had an unfortunate casualty. What's his name? Bo? Is it Bo Obama? What's
Bo
his
Obama? Yeah.
Bo Obama.
What's his name? Bo Obama?
I think it's Bo Rack Obama.
Bo Rack Obama.
That damn dog that we joke about a lot died, passed away, went shuffling into the great beyond.
Bo Obama.
Thought we'd address it. This is like one of those. I don't remember how often this dog has come up on the podcast. It's certainly not as often as Dr. Drew, but it was often enough that we thought it was funny.
I think he's the second most spoken about character. No.
Probably.
Number one is
No.
Keith David. Number one is Keith David. Number two is Dr. Drew, and then it's Bo.
Bo.
That's
Damn.
fair.
And then it's Paul Joseph Watson. And then it's Ian Miles Chung.
Yeah, we got some good characters.
That's probably
we got a good cast.
Yeah, that's probably an accurate
say
list there. But rest in peace, Bo Obama.
He was a good boy. He helped me drone strike all those brown people. I let him push the button.
It was the dog's idea. It's Obama is son of Sam.
What's that, Bo?
What's
you
that,
want me
Bo?
to send 30 drone strikes?
What's that, Bo? You want me to bomb the Gaza Strip, Bo? I'll do it in a heartbeat for you, Bo. Anything for you.
President Obama, what should we do? What's that, Bo?
This is not funny. His dog just died. I'm really sensitive about dogs passing away, guys. So I'm not gonna partake in this fuck shit that they're doing right now.
We're celebrating him.
I'm not saying you're celebrating the fact that he died, not celebrating
not.
him because he died.
No, we're celebrating his
Look,
tenacity, his cunning, how he was literally Obama's right-hand man, and without it, there would be a lot less wars. So let's
Without him, there'd be a lot less wars. Let's just rest in peace, Bo. R.I.P.
like
Obama, you kind of suck, but like that was your dog, and I understand it was like losing a dog. So I'm gonna be respectful.
Obviously,
it's a love-hate. Yeah, it's one of those things where you feel bad for anybody, even like isn't it like
Hitler had a dog,
Yeah, I feel bad that that's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard to feel bad.
You're in the mud. You're in the mud right now, dude.
That's really hard to feel bad about that, right?
Hitler's dog isn't usually brought up in the context of like, feeling bad when a dog dies. It's usually brought up in the context of like, even Hitler had a dog, in the sense that like,
people are trying to
Hitler
humanize
had
Hitler.
somebody. Hitler had a life form that lit up the moment he walked into a room.
That's what's crazy. That's why dogs are so great. They can't even tell how horrible of a human being you are. They're just like, hey, keep me company and feed me, and you're the shit. That's it.
Like, they're just like, yo, I'm your friend. Like, I got you. Like, no matter what happens, it's me and you. It's me and you in this fight together, right?
Yeah.
I don't care all those Jews you killed. Like, I got you. Like, me and
Curse
you.
the Jews.
That's what he sounds like. Well, look, we're
Like,
not laughing. We're
Scooby
not,
fucking do.
Look. We're not laughing at the fact that he's dead. It's always like mildly amusing whenever because who the fuck, like, when was the last time any of us have talked about Bo, Obama's dog, before we brought him up on the podcast? Probably literally never. Like, I don't think I've ever talked about him.
Never.
Yeah.
Never, not once.
Always. No, I'm kidding. Maybe once or twice.
Yeah, right.
Maybe once or twice.
So the fact that like we bring him up and then he just vanishes it's a little amusing that that's the case.
Yeah. People
Same with the
literally
Prince.
like. I was tagged in so much shit. I imagine you guys were too, where I was just like, guys, we didn't do this. Like, we just mentioning like Dr. Drew's still alive somehow. So just to kind of let you know that we couldn't have killed Bo.
Dr. Drew will die someday, though. And I
He
feel
got
like
close.
later,
He got close.
Later,
Kombat got him pretty
right.
good.
That's right. That was I was
did?
actually
He
super
almost
stressed
died?
out about it.
Well, he got COVID pretty bad, but he he recovered.
That's crazy. I didn't get COVID. Dr. Drew's a bitch. I somehow didn't get COVID. That's crazy.
Well, yeah, because he's an asshole. Like he's like one of those people where it's like, oh, it's not so bad, and he's all fucking hanging out in Mexico and Baja and shit, and I'm like, of course.
He got he got Mexican COVID too. That's even worse.
They used the real sugar in that one.
Yeah.
I think,
Mexican
but yeah,
COVID.
we just wanted to bring that up because we thought it was like it's obviously sad, but it's also kind of funny that he just passes away the second we bring him up. Beyond that, though, there's I don't know what to start. There's quite a bit to kind of get through. First of all, there's a lot of shit coming out really soon that is like sincerely overwhelming. The new Castlevania season's coming out.
Yes.
Fucking beyond excited about
Yes.
that.
I'm watching that Thursday night, bro. I'm staying up all night.
You mean tonight?
It's not Thursday.
It's not Thursday? What day is it?
It's Wednesday, man.
Oh,
Wednesday.
damn. I don't know what day it is. I'm all delirious because I fucking sprained my ankle and I've been taking ibuprofen. I've been falling asleep at like really awkward hours.
From ibuprofen?
Well, because I'm also taking Benadryl for my fucking allergies.
Well, stop taking fucking Benadryl.
I need it.
Just take Allegra, bitch.
Allegra?
Yes, Allegra is way better. It does this. It's a good antihistamine, like you need, and it won't put you to sleep.
I got so much Benadryl, though.
The best part
Then
about
throw it the fuck
Benadryl is
away.
that it puts you to sleep, dude. It's so good.
Dude, I bought a year's worth of Zyrtec, and I was like, "Fuck this shit." I just threw it away after a while because it makes you a little drowsy too.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love I love fighting the drowsy after you take like 2 Benadryls and you're just in your room like.
Just
I mean,
trying.
I heard it's good for beating. I heard it's good for beating off. Like you take Benadryl. I've literally heard this.
Who has told you this?
I've. Okay, so
Were they bottom feeders? Were they like really terrible people?
they were probably. So there's this guy.
His name is Q.
He unfortunately passed away. He was a YouTuber technically because he had YouTube videos. But he was this crazy guy that clearly was on like meth and stuff, and he would talk about, oh, if you want to get the horniest you've ever been, take 12 Benadryl.
Oh my god!
And then smoke your weed, and then get yourself horny. I don't know if anybody knows this video, you're a fucking legend. But yeah, this guy, he knows what I'm talking about. He knows what he's talking about. So
12
you should try it, Chris.
Benadryls. Jeez,
12.
I don't even know if I'd be able to survive that. Like I'm
Yeah,
pretty.
You'd be down. You'd be fucking. Because you're also smoking weed, so you're going through the lowest lows, bro.
Yeah, this guy's a champ. This guy's a champ that he could even like be conscious and do that. Or he was a champ because he's fucking dead.
That's like I feel like that's like what are you feeling right now after 12 Benadryls? You're probably feeling like like molasses or something.
I mean, I guess it's a thing though. I've heard it a few times. People trying to if you fight to stay awake, it makes you loopy. So I guess it makes like other things better. Essentially, I don't know. I'm not a fan of. I hate things that. I hate being like under the influence and I have no control over what's going on. Like say sleep. Like I took for a while. Bob Marley had these iced teas, and when they first hit the market, they're not regulated by the FDA immediately. And so this had like a pound of melatonin in it. And I fucking slept for 15 hours for drinking one. And I was so pissed.
That sounds
like,
awesome.
It's awesome if you don't have shit to do.
Right.
But yeah, it wasn't good. I was pretty upset.
Imagine sleeping for 15 hours and you miss like your wedding. like something crazy. Your wife thinks you like held it up at the altar and you're like, no, Bob Marley had this energy drink, right? And I wanted to make sure I got a good enough night of sleep so I could be up all day for the party, and I drank it and ended up missing the wedding, and I'm real sorry. She's like, you broke my heart. It's like, no, it's Bob Marley's fault.
It was Bob Marley's fault.
Bob Marley did it.
Jamming in the name of the Lord.
Yo, fucking melatonin is no joke, man. That'll put you out. I don't understand how they even put that in it. Like, I don't understand how you could put melatonin in an energy drink. It doesn't even seem.
Well, it was the opposite. It wasn't an energy drink. That's the wrong word.
Oh, right. It was like a reverse coffee.
It was like a
chamomile tea.
That's just like feel good tea, and then they had like 3 different flavors or something, and they all fucked you up. And it's also kind of strange that you can sell melatonin over the counter, no problem. That shit will knock people out.
It doesn't work on me, dude.
I take it pretty regularly.
I know some people it doesn't work on either. It works on me. It works on me well. I don't even need it because I don't have trouble sleeping. So
I have trouble sleeping. That's why I take it.
I have tons of problems sleeping, bro.
Every now and again, like you can't take it too regularly because then like your body will just like get dependent on it.
Yeah.
But it fucking, that's no joke, man. It really does. I think that's probably why. I think it's probably why. Well, not the melatonin, but like the Benadryl is probably why I sprained my ankle in the first. I've probably fallen asleep down the stairs, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's why. Because it's such a
Robitussin, bro.
Robitussin?
Robitussin. Fucks
Isn't that the drink?
Up, dude.
No. It's a medicine that tastes like the worst ass ever. It's so gross.
I take a little bit of Robitussin and I feel sick.
Yeah, but you have to get that OTC. You have to get because it doesn't have codeine in it anymore. Nothing has codeine anymore because all these fucking Southern rappers. They
Ain't
fucked
no
codeine up.
fussing with the tussin.
Dude, they fucked it up for everyone.
Absolutely.
Because codeine used to be in everything, and then they were like they started.
It was in
NyQuil,
if I'm not mistaken. Codeine was in NyQuil, if I'm not
everything.
mistaken. Yeah, I remember when I've only done that shit like twice in my life, and every time I do that, I'm like, yo, I feel horrible. And everybody's like, don't you feel good, bro? I'm like, no, I feel like I'm dying.
What, just drinking NyQuil?
No,
Dude,
what happens is you get NyQuil, you fill it up with a bunch of syrup and like not syrup, like sodas.
Can we give
Jolly
the
Ranchers.
instructions to this? Is that something we're allowed to do? I don't think. Is that possible?
Yeah,
We're fine. I don't condone anyone doing this. You shouldn't do this.
Because even Breaking Bad was like pretty. You know, is pretty ambiguous about the way.
That was the thing. I understand why it was for that very reason, but it also really took away from the show for me. Where like it was kind of like where I liked watching that show House for a while, for like maybe the first couple seasons, and I can't imagine if they had no medical shit in it at all. It'd be kind of like a little weird. Like it's a drama that's good, but I feel like it's nerfed. You know, but I understand why they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it because they want people making a bunch of bad.
Should I stop?
I think.
No.
I tell you what, I'll edit it a little bit,
okay,
and I'll make it funny.
I don't understand that people chasing that ultimate. Like, I feel like what is wrong with having like 4 beers or 3 cocktails or whatever? You know what I'm saying? What is like? Don't you feel fucking relaxed? Like, what are you trying to do? You're trying to melt into the asphalt.
People that use that shit all the time is because they got real shit going on that they can't deal with. I'm fucking positive of that because like every person I know that does that's fucking sipping scissor has something fucked up going on there in a really bad situation or something because that shit is literally poison. It's not good for you.
I'm just fine with a drink. You know, like I don't think I've ever needed like I don't need to like tie my leg to my arm and then like inject a fucking spoonful of fucking Kool-Aid into my bloodstream.
I don't. I smoked for a while, but I'm just like I'm fine without doing anything. I've been having fun for years without like being on drugs. Even when I smoke now, I hate how I feel because I feel like my brain's in a tizzy because I can't turn off the bullshit. This feels like, oh man. Here, I'm on a fucking roller coaster ride, and I'm gonna end it where I end it.
I have a drink or 2 or 3, and I'm fine. Like I don't need this like adventurous shit where like I'm like meeting people under bridges. Like I just don't need it.
I think that's pretty good. I think it's pretty good to just have that balance, right? I think that's all you need. It's some people, they don't have a governor, right? They just keep going. And it's like, let me fucking try something else.
You gotta buy it from some guy that walks out of your shadow. You gotta cast a shadow at a certain point, and then the person walks out your shadow, and he's like, "What can I get for you?" You're like, "What?"
Yeah, it's like that fucking guy from RE4. He's like, "What are you buying?" It just keeps like he shows up. You have no idea who the fuck this person is, but you still get stuff from them. You know, it's like, all right.
Speaking of RE transition.
Yeah, what do we do? Resident Evil? Resident Evil 8.
Yeah.
I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, Village.
I haven't played it either because, like Chris said, and I agree with him, waiting for some spicier mods for more, the things are already pouring in, but there's there's
I
gonna
want
be
some
the best mods that
spicier
come out.
mods. I want some spicier mods. I would
Spicier
love to
mods.
play them with the spicy mods on Twitch, but I can't. I'll get banned.
Yeah, you can put a couple like just
Nah,
don't
she
put,
gotta
like,
be naked. She gotta be naked, bro. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm not
I mean-
going halfway. If I'm putting on mods, I'm going straight into
Literally,
degeneracy.
my Resident Evil 2 right now, if I booted it up, I would get banned from anything
Yeah.
because Claire is butt ass naked, of course. Well, that may not be true because I kept switching in between her being butt ass naked and her just being this jacked like bodybuilder because it just looks hilarious. Especially with that fucking little gun that she has in the beginning. It looks like a fucking toy because she's so goddamn big. And Leon is Shrek, of course.
Of
Yeah.
course.
I haven't touched it yet because I'm still working through Returnal. And now a new Destiny season started out of nowhere, and now I'm fucking locked on that. But eventually, I'll get around to it. But
Yeah.
Sweeny beat it, apparently. I
Already
didn't even
beat
realize. I didn't know you finished it.
Mm-hmm.
Is,
How'd you like
yeah, what's up?
I love that game. I love it. I hate the last hour of the game. I hate it.
Interesting.
Hate the last hour of the game. Loved it entirely though. It was really fun. It feels a lot like Resident Evil 4 in the sense of the inventory, and like you purchase weapons, you can make ammo.
The tone is
Just
like
the vil-
very four.
The
I heard.
village aesthetic is nice. It feels similar, but I mostly prefer like also feels like 7. It's like a cross between those two.
Well, because it's
Yeah.
first person, right?
Yeah.
That
I
was
even
the
like
thing.
some of the story points. It just feels because 7 did a lot of really good points where it was like 7 was back to basics. It was just like weird horror shit, which
Well,
is like
that's what,
very
it's just like, let's just do what we always do and try to scare the shit out of you.
yeah, and it didn't really scare me, but it was just good. No, there's one part that scared the fuck out of me. I'm not gonna spoil it, but there's one part where you're in a house and it scared the shit out of me. I saw it and my mood dropped.
In 7?
In 7, was that a part that scared me? In
Wait,
7?
what are you talking about? Wait, I thought you were
eight.
talking about.
He's talking
He's
about
talking about
I'm talking about
I
8.
thought you were talking about 7.
I was talking about like 7 didn't really scare me very much because there's just jump scares that like scare me in like most of the games. But in 8, there's one part like one section in 8 that scared the shit out of me,
Right.
and I was just like, oh whoa, I didn't expect that. But
I don't know, man. I tried to get into 7 like a million times, and I couldn't shake the feeling that it just felt like every other horror game. I think
that's-
the first person angle for Resident Evil, I don't think I'm like a huge fan of in general as like a premise. I think it makes it just sort of feel like, oh, it feels like Amnesia again, or like PT, or Outlast, where it's just like,
Outlast,
hey, here's
yeah.
this first person horror game, and it's like it's gross and scary and all that, and it's all about tension, and you can't move super fast because it's first person, and
Yeah.
I get it, but it didn't feel like Resident Evil to me, and it felt like a bit too serious. Like Resident Evil 7 just felt like it was taking itself very seriously.
I
and this
feel
one
like
looks,
it's the opposite.
This one looks
I feel like it's-
ridiculous.
I feel like Resident Evil 7 was the opposite of taking itself serious.
Are you
Because I feel like
really
it
compared
was,
to like 4, where you got like a little fucking Napoleon boy, fucking?
well in 4, because 4 was like the least serious, and I don't adore Resident Evil 4. I like it because it's Leon Kennedy. That's the only reason why I like that game. Leon is my favorite Resident Evil character, so I'm like, wherever Leon goes, I will follow with no problem.
So what is your favorite? What's your favorite? What's your favorite
2
Resident
remake.
Evil?
2 remake easily.
Okay, well that's okay. Let's pretend that didn't exist.
Okay, other than that,
Before that,
5, I would say.
5.
What?
Yeah, I love 5.
Look, man, I look at 5
I love 5.
I will say 5 is underrated. I
5
definitely
is
agree,
5 is
but
silly. It's silly. It's a lot of fucking wild shit happening, but that makes it fun. It's a really fun experience to play.
to me, that's okay. The weird thing about Resident Evil to me is that I've never cared about the survival horror aspect of it.
Same.
It was about like having fun, shooting zombies and solving puzzles and stuff like that. If the puzzles were just not ridiculous, sometimes it's just like, all right, now I'm just wasting time. But so Resident Evil 5 was, I think it did it pretty well, where there was barely any puzzles. There were a few things you had to do to collect some shit, whatever. But I had a blast shooting so many people. There was so many people to
so
kill in
many
that
Africans.
game.
I
More
killed
than
so
like
many
say
black-skinned people.
So many Africans. I fucking would. I would savor it. I would get the fucking taser or whatever.
You had the
and that
taser
shit-
stick, and you would just tase
Dude,
the fuck
that
out of
thing,
them.
I never used to. Okay, so I played Resident Evil 5 again, probably like 2018 or something. I never used the taser because, like, why would I want to use that? I want to use the gun. I always want to use the gun, and I would never run out of ammo. So what's the point? I never realized how amazing it was.
It was a great weapon.
You fucking stun the shit out of people, and then you uppercut them, fucking slam. Like, I was just like, this is OP, and you never run out. It's actually, if anybody has never done that before, go back and use that shit for the vast majority of the game. It's pretty fucking incredible.
I love it, dude. I particularly I like. There's 2, there's 5. That's my favorite. Then I would say maybe 4.
Damn.
4?
What is your beef with 4?
I just don't like 4's the way 4 looks. 4 looks disgusting.
What?
To me.
Well,
Are you insane?
I've never liked the way it looks gross.
What? Are you,
It's just so void of color. I just don't, and I don't like that. I'm sorry.
That's insane. 4 is just better 5. 4 is just better than 5. It just is.
4 is very different from 5.
Yeah, and it's better.
4 is a good balance between all like everything. There's
I think
arguably
this one.
sometimes there's too many people to kill.
Yeah,
I
4 is just 2 and 5 like thrown together, just straight up. It's like a perfect balance of those 2 tones of like, hey, here's like classic Resident Evil kind of like scary shit, but it's also like fucking ridiculous. But it's not you're punching a boulder off into a fucking volcano while a pterodactyl.
I liked it. I like that. I thought that was funny.
I don't know, man.
I never really liked 4 that much, but that's just me. I played 4 when it came out. I played it on the Wii. I played it on like the GameCube. Like I played it like 6 times. I just don't like 4 that much.
I played 4 for the first time 2 years ago, straight up.
Oh, interesting.
And I think it held. I think it holds up way better than 5. I think it held up way better than I anticipated it would.
It's a good game. I just don't like it that much.
That's how I know it's a good game, is that like I have no nostalgia for it. I played it like 15 years after it came out, and I was like, this is great. It's like Tetris. It's like, you're not going to... It's like, of course, this is good still. But...
That's interesting.
But I don't... I mean, I've seen, like, I was over... Obviously, like, I had friends who had it, and, like, I would go over their house and watch them play, but I never actually, like, played it, like, front to back or anything until super recently. And I don't know, man. Like, I just... 7 just... I wouldn't call 7 bad. 7's good. It's just... not at all what I care to get from Resident Evil.
I feel like all of them are kind of jokey comedy, because I feel like 1 and 2
7's
definitely
not comedy
have,
at all.
7,
Well,
it's
there's
7's
there's
kind
that.
of fucking janky, wild comedic
not-
bullshit.
Only
not-
that guy that's busting through the walls and shit. Just
It
that
is.
guy.
I played that game from
And
front
then
to
he
back, all
gets
the
into
content.
the car and shit.
It's
just
pretty
literally
fucking ridiculous.
What's his name?
Jack.
What's his name? That's
That's
like
the dad.
He's the fucking he's the punchline. Like everything he says and everything he does, he's just fucking around. And then he doesn't die for whatever fucking reason, even though like
He shot himself in the head. That was like,
clearly
bro,
should be
what
fucking
the
dead.
fuck?
You're like, okay, this is these mutations or whatever are getting ridiculous. Like that, you can escape death somehow with your head being like Swiss cheesed. Okay.
I mean, but that's the point of all the games, though, because in every game, it's like there's always that one, like that's the thing about Resident Evil. Like it's always been kind of like just what the fuck. Because I think I've played almost all of them. I played all of the numerical ones. I didn't finish 6. I didn't finish, I think, Jack's part, Wesker's son.
I don't think anybody finished 6. There's
I
just
didn't
4
finish
parts
6.
to it.
I never started 6.
Dude,
I didn't finish 6.
don't sleep on Leon's fucking part. It's
Leon's
really
part
fun.
goes bananas, bro.
I
It's
just
really
don't,
fun.
Yeah,
Because
I
it
mean,
shows how
I'm
good
not,
of a fucking killer he becomes. It's
I'm not
nuts.
I'm not in love with Resident Evil as a franchise enough to bother
Yeah.
with 6. Like I like
yeah.
I like 2 remake a lot. I like 4. 5 is fun. But I never touched Code Veronica or fucking
I played Code Veronica. I
any
played
of these
Zero.
other. Yeah,
I played
I
both
haven't.
discs of Zero.
No, I get it. And I think
Yeah.
that's my problem with 7, though, because there's so many characters already that I was just like, Ethan. I was like, I don't... Like, I'm like, at this late in the stage, I kind of don't care about... It's the beef that I had with the new Mortal Kombat film, where it was just like, this late in the stage, you have a massive roster of people, and they're like, let's create a new person. And I'm like, I can't be
and they
fucked
made
with
him
that
related
shit.
to Scorpion. And I was like, why is he related to Scorpion?
Yeah, I can't be
Come
fucked
on.
with that.
Just
I
make
didn't
Liu Kang
even.
the
I didn't
main
even bother with that
character.
movie. How I assume
I
it wasn't
enjoyed
good.
it. I enjoyed the fights in it. The fights were actually pretty well choreographed.
The fights were okay, but here's the problem, man. When you have things like like say these Indonesians are killing it in the martial arts flicks. I recommended a lot of people to watch The Night Comes for Us on Netflix. I hope it's still on there. It's one of the best action martial arts flicks, bar none, other than say like The Raid Redemption, The Raid 2. Like those guys, phenomenal. There's such a high bar that they could take advantage of, especially since those people in Indonesia they're not worth a lot of money, unfortunately. You know, fortunately for us, you can pay them a very small salary and they will work their asses off like they do fucking over there for way less money. And they just kind of like, whatever, Western shit, I don't care. Like, they don't give a fuck. So they can do so much better. It's fine. Like, the martial art, it's not bad. It's not bad. The choreography it's pretty good, but it's not. They put more effort into The Matrix fucking a million years ago, for example. 6 months of training.
The costume design was really nice, too. Like,
costume design, Sub-Zero look fucking great.
Like, there's a lot of good things about it. Like, for instance, the guy that played Sub-Zero, he worked with the Raid group. I think he's one of the brothers.
Yeah, no, like he's great, and he didn't get the type of shine that basically watch him do other shit and then see what's going on here. It's like, damn, dog, you didn't get enough screen time.
That's true, but they were trying to do too much. I like the movie because I like the violence aspect. I don't like Mortal Kombat games. I've never been good at them, but I like the violence that comes from Mortal Kombat. And I feel like I got enough of that from the movie. I didn't like the fact that it was Cole very much. But the thing is that I know that guy, the guy that plays Cole, he's a great fighter because he's from Into the Badlands, a show I watched. Me and maybe like 7 other people on this planet.
That was a great show.
Every
it
episode.
Sucks that it fucking only had like 3 seasons or something. Sucked.
Like I was like, oh, this guy's really good. I think he should have played I really think he should have been Quan Chi or Ken Chi in the new Marvel ones, or Shang-Chi. I think he should have been Shang-Chi because he's a really good fighter. Like, oh, this guy could definitely play Shang-Chi. Cole's actor is a insanely good martial artist.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things.
They didn't utilize him.
It's one of those things where the studio, they were in control of what was happening, and you saw that Ed Boon was not involved with what was happening, so I automatically knew that. I was like, oh, I'm not going to enjoy this. I'm not going to enjoy this because he's not overseeing things, and they're going to go with, well, that's why they did they always do that thing. Let's create a new character for people to connect with, or, watching the Transformers flicks where you just want to watch giant fucking alien metal things just shoot each other to death, and they're like, let's throw in, what's that fucking idiot?
Here's Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, let's throw in Shia LaBeouf. I'm like, no one. It's baffling.
It's like that Monster Hunter movie where they kind of like threw in the American military just because they needed something that was like vaguely relatable to your average person, and they picked the American military.
Look, I would make fun of Shia LaBeouf. But Shia LaBeouf is like really talented at rapping, so I don't want to make fun of him.
But he bites though. He never does his own shit though.
No, I heard him freestyle. It was impressive.
Yeah, and that was a bite.
That was a whole bite?
Shit. Yeah, absolutely.
I can't believe that was a whole bite.
Yeah,
I never heard of it. I feel like I would have heard of that. The one he did on Sway in the morning?
He got everything he watched. He's been exposed multiple times. You should check it out. Go look it up.
No way.
He's been exposed. Dude, look at Shia LaBeouf is very talented. I actually like him as an actor. I just think that it doesn't matter who the fuck. It could have been anybody. It could have been Daniel Day-Lewis in fucking Transformers, and I'd be like, get him the fuck out of here. I don't care about
he doesn't
people in this fucking movie. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, there's just all these like video game adaptations where it's just like, even just like the Uncharted thing with Tom Holland, where Tom Holland's playing like young Nathan Drake, and
oh yeah,
he was like, did you see that interview he gave where he was like, the way I played that character, I don't think I would do that again. I think I made a mistake. Like, he just made, like, this is just him talking to like some company or like some interview house, and he's just like, it was kind of hard to like look like a glistening badass all the time, and I was like, that's not even the right direction for the character you're playing.
Who, Nathan?
Yeah, Nathan Drake
is kind of a glistening badass.
No,
but
he's not. He's
quirky, dude. He's quirky.
Dude, Nathan is quirky, but he's also like mass murderer.
No. But listen, Nathan Drake is Nathan Fillion, essentially. Like,
yeah,
basically.
literally.
He's cool. He's cool, but he's never like he never does like the pose where like the sun strikes him and he just looks like a super bad. He just does things and he's charismatic and things work out and he's kind of a dork. That's Nathan Drake as a character.
A killer.
That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about just the nature of just like him standing there looking like like there shouldn't be like a shot of just Nathan Drake doing this, you know? Like he's fucking Spider-Man.
I mean, that's true, but the covers of the games are him doing that.
No, it's not. Only one. It's only one.
Him
it's only
falling.
One. It's only one. A Thief's End is the only one where he looks like anything sort of where he looks fucking dope.
But he's also on some like a car, and the other one's like about to fall off something and holding like on like he's always doing something kind of badass.
It's like, but it's like, oh no, here we go again.
Okay,
it's like that type of thing. It's like the fucking second game starts off with him hanging from a fucking train or some shit.
Yeah.
Like it's like, whoa, here we go. It's not like
it's literally the cover of the second game too. It's him like dangling for his life.
That's the one I remember the most. That's the one I remember the most.
Right.
That situation was insane. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
That was a great like I don't really care for Uncharted that much. Like as a series, I think it's fine. I think it's good. It's like Tomb Raider. It's like, okay, this is like fun and good. But like that second game is like genuinely really, really great.
Particularly the beginning. The beginning of the second game is just bananas. I was like, what the hell?
The whole way through, man, until the end. Like the ending is where you're fighting like Yetis in like
and they were just
El
people.
Dorado.
And they were people. They were just dudes in fucking costumes. I was like, what?
Yeah, and they took like every bullet you had to kill him. I remember sitting there being like, yo, I thought my game was glitched. And I think to this day it might still be.
Yo, what?
No, I think they fixed that in the remaster, dude. I think they made things a little bit like more balanced. I think so.
That's
I
crazy.
hope so, because that was like
I think
a big
there was
deal.
Some problems that they had, and then they're like, let's rework this. But I never played the remastered ones.
The Yetis were insane, bro. And they'd run up to you and they'd hit you yards. You'd be like, bro, what the fuck is this, man?
Yeah,
or like
Uncharted
the part in
2 is
3.
really good.
Or the part in 3 you're in a plane that's crashing. I was so upset that whole game because I was like, bro, I'm in a plane.
That was the only thing I remember from 3. 3 was okay.
Really? I just remember like escaping something with Sully or something, a car or some shit. I don't remember. There was like a driving scene. I remember something, and then the lighting was fucking great though. I just remember it was all like, I remember it was because I think they were showcasing it in E3 at one point.
That might be 4. You might be thinking of Uncharted.
Am I thinking of 4?
They did 3 at E3 also,
the one
if I'm mistaken.
In 4, there's a sequence where you're driving through like a favela kind of, and like you're
I
with
think
Sully,
you're right.
and
Yeah,
then
you're right.
You're getting like dragged, and like you're on like a rope dangling off a bridge at one point, and you're like trying to dodge like pillars and shit.
Yeah, it has to be that. Like,
that was 4, I think.
I'm just getting all mixed up.
Uncharted.
Yeah, they all. I mean,
like
in fairness, they all look pretty similar.
As a franchise, I was always like, Uncharted is just so ridiculous. Because like I would play the game and I'd be like, because how do I explain? Like I didn't play much Tomb Raider. So I wasn't prepared.
What did you say?
I didn't play much Tomb Raider.
Oh, okay.
I didn't play much. You know, I played 1, 2, and 3 when I was like a kid, and I was like, okay, this girl has fucking pointy boobs. That's all I really paid attention to.
They were still nice.
And then I got to Uncharted 1, and there was this moment in Uncharted 1 where like you're in like a tomb, and a wall collapses, and he just puts his hand out and grabs something. I'm like, how did you do that?
Wait,
how did you
mean?
Just know? Like in Uncharted 1, you were in a crypt, if I'm not mistaken, and like the crypt wall just falls away. And then Nathan just somehow grabs onto something else. I was like, you're falling. Your arm would have broke. Your arm would have just came out of place.
What?
Like he just knew where to grab all the time. Like he just always just knew.
That's just an action trope in general. Like someone's falling and then they just, it's like, it's in Spider-Man 1 as well. Like when Mary Jane falls like 40 stories and then she lands on the what is it, the subway car or like the car full of children.
And then like,
oh yeah, and her arms don't fucking dislocate and shit.
And then like for me, the one that really threw me off was at in 3, in the beginning of 3, you fight an army, like a genuine straight up army where you have like turrets and you're just mowing down legions of people. And I'm like, bro, what?
Nathan Drake has an impressive kill count. Yeah,
Nathan Drake is a mass murderer. It's kind of insane
because it was he killed a lot of people in all of them, but in 3 it was different. it was just a different scale of like, yo, he is sawing through people. And then him and Sully had like a quirky conversation. He's like, wow, man, that was kind of tough. And I was like, Nathan,
Yeah.
you're a warmongering piece of shit. You just for a golden statue, you killed all these people.
Nathan
they had
Drake
families.
Nathan Drake is like a 2010 sitcom comedy, but he's killed thousands.
Yeah,
and like nobody addresses it. He just walks in and everybody has like witty dialogue with him, and he's like, "Where are you going?" "Oh, I'm going to fucking El Dorado or or some fucking mystical land, and I'm gonna kill thousands of natives and paramilitary personnel."
He's like a conquistador. Like
just
he's
for a
literally
rock. Just for a fucking
to
stone.
these places and killing a bunch of people.
So is Lara Croft
Interesting.
too. In fairness, like
Yeah.
Lara Croft was doing the same thing. It's
At least in the remake and the first one, like she was shipwrecked and then on the island and then she had to survive. So at least the killing there was kind of justified. And then after that, it was just like, oh,
Nah,
God,
dude.
Yeah.
In the third one, she's like, she white woman's her way into the revolving. It's like, I have to help these people because they need me to, and then she causes the problem that gets so many people killed. And
that
I'm like,
fucking
damn,
game, man.
bitch.
The third new Tomb Raider game was so close to being like one of my favorite games of all time.
Really?
It was so close, and then they just walked back. They walked back a choice that they made, and I was so fucking infuriated by it. I remember it was one of the first Sacred Symbols videos that I did, like one of the first episodes of the podcast that I did with Colin, where like that was the game that was out, and I was talking about it, and I was just like, I can't believe they fucked this up. And I still think it's a good game, but like it was really close to being like on a list.
I watched it. I watched my friend play most of it, and I was just like, oh, this game is like cool.
It's really good up until the point where it gets great, and then
I haven't played it.
There's a point where like a little girl's gonna get sacrificed, and then Laura's like, no, don't get sacrificed, that's unjust. And then you find out that like it was a really severe blessing and like a cultural thing. And that whole game was just Laura just saying what she thought was right and just completely interfering with these people's way of life. And I was like, whoa, you suck, Lara Croft. You're the worst.
What the hell? I don't. Wait.
What?
Isn't the game called? Oh, wait. It's like, it's not called Tomb Raider : some shit.
no, it's like Rise, right?
Rise, and
Yeah,
then
Rise
what's
Tomb
the other one though?
Shadow.
What's the last one called? Shadow.
I can't remember if Rise or Shadow is the third one, but like, yeah,
No, Rise is definitely the second one. I have that one.
yeah, Shadow is the one that I played then.
Okay.
That was really
All
close to being great,
Nah.
but oh well. There are other video games, a lot more coming out soon. Obviously, Mass Effect is out this Friday.
Finally.
I'm looking forward to it. I've never finished the original Mass Effect, so
Yeah, I'm
fucking
gonna stream
beating it
that
up.
whole game. I can't wait.
Me too.
cannot wait.
Finally, I'm finally gonna come back out of retirement and just stream on YouTube because I haven't gotten over to the Twitch thing. I don't know, man. I can't bring myself to do it. But it also at this point, I don't think it would be better for me anyway.
Yeah, you already got your people.
yeah,
over
you might
on
as well
YouTube.
just continue on YouTube.
Mike, one thing I wondered is that on YouTube, can you play music while you stream?
What? You could play music any?
Yeah,
You can't do it on Twitch. You'll go to jail. You can't play like an artist's music on Twitch. You'll go to jail.
Oh yeah, they're getting kind of dumb about that. Twitch, it depends on the song. YouTube, it depends on the song. If it's something really, really popular, they might have somebody, whoever their distributor is, they might do something where it'll shut your stream down. But that's very rare. It's usually what happens is you play something that's copywritten, just when you're done, it just like, oh, we're sharing the revenue, or it shit's blocked or whatever. But a lot of times it doesn't matter because the VODs, a lot of people don't even watch them after you're done anyway. So it's not the end of the world. But I just play stuff that's fucking not even royalty free. I just play old fucking video game music that nobody's claiming. Like that's what I always do. I play fucking last few streams I did. I just keep playing Guile's theme, like 10-hour stream or whatever. 10-hour, I just like put that on because nobody claims that. No one claims any OSTs from like all these old games. So I'm like, yeah, just play old music.
I just use video game music pretty much entirely.
I want to play. I want to go through like music I like so bad. That's all I've ever wanted to do. Like I would love to have a stream where I could just play like one of my like several playlists. I'd be like, oh, this is such good music, and I would have good conversations based on the music.
I used
But
to.
unfortunately,
I used to do that on Twitch when that wasn't a thing a couple years
You're
ago.
allowed to.
It was fun.
Yeah.
But oh well.
Yeah,
before they climb down.
YouTube. I just thought about it. Meat Canyon. He plays shit all the time.
Yeah,
So
Papa Meat does.
So you can definitely.
I don't want to
on
risk
YouTube,
it though.
Jonathan Young's music is also safe to stream.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I tested that out, and it is. It is indeed safe.
It is.
Would-
Shout out
man,
Jonathan Young.
So
imagine just. Go ahead.
no, wait, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, can you imagine he just starts copyrighting all of his shit right now? Like,
That'd
just
be
out of
wild.
nowhere.
It's a massive dick move.
I'd be like, hey, dude, why'd you do that, man?
So there is this story that I feel like we should touch on because it's kind of interesting. And it's this situation involving a dating app that is, I guess, exclusive to celebrities. It's called Raya.
Yeah.
Is that right? So this is
Yeah.
a celebrity dating app. I think you need to meet like certain qualifications to even get approved for an account on there. You have to be like famous and or have obviously enough connections to famous people to get you on. I assume famous people's friends are on there as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was this situation that kind of trended earlier this week. I think maybe last week at this point. I'm not sure. I'm not super sure what day it is.
Something. It's yeah.
But Matthew Perry, Chandler from fucking Friends. That's his name, right? Is that the person he played on Friends?
Yeah, that was Chandler. Yeah.
He, man, what a weird story. So this girl who is like, how old is this girl? Like 20 something?
19.
Oh,
19 years
19.
old.
So this 19-year-old girl matched with Matthew Perry on Raya. And Matthew Perry is obviously about 110 at this point.
Basically, in Hollywood years for sure.
Yeah, like what is he, like 50 something, 60? I don't even...
He's in his 50s apparently, from what I heard.
Right. So obviously this was a big deal, but Derek, you know about a little bit more about this than I do.
Yeah, so I saw a couple of people mentioning this, and so I looked into it a little bit. Where, yeah, Matthew Perry in his 50s. I didn't look up his exact age, but I'm assuming it's early 50s, and they matched. And so what this girl does, she goes on TikTok, of course, because that's where everybody fucking goes for everything now, even very serious issues. She tries to shame him by saying, "I matched with him for a joke." And then he immediately wanted a FaceTime, like, say, after, I don't know, a few messages. So she agrees to FaceTime with the dude. And then she's just kind of showing, like, him talk. You know, she's filming him from the side, being kind of a dick. And he's just being a gentleman, though. And so basically she was trying to out him as, like, oh, look at this fucking creep. Now, there's quite a few people that are like, oh, that is a little weird, but it kind of backfired on her because it's like, bitch, why did you even match with him though? Like, she said for a joke, and I'm like, all right, dude. Well, if you're matching for him for a joke to play with his emotions, you're kind of an asshole. Like, there's no scenario where she comes out of this looking like she's like a hero or the way that she tried to. You know how a lot of people film stuff and then they post it themselves, and like you realize this is only gonna make you look bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People
and
are
then it brought
stupid.
fuck yeah, they are. And it brought up the conversation though about Matthew Perry and in that situation where it's like, because I think almost everybody can agree that it's kind of creepy, but at the same time, should we care about that? Because
I mean, it's strange. It's strange liking younger women at a certain like. For me, my lowest 23 for me now. Like, as I get older, the more I get older, I'm like, you got to be a certain age before I can even talk to somebody, you know? Like, my lowest possible
why
age
23?
is 23. Because I feel like that's a generational gap that's not too huge, you know? Like, we could probably still have seen a lot of the same things and talk about a lot of the same stuff. But, like, my girlfriend's going to be 25 now. And sometimes I feel like she's too young because of the fact that how her brain works towards trends and mine doesn't.
What do you mean? How old are you?
I'm 27 now.
That's so stupid.
it is.
Now. That's just for me. That's just my personal preference. I don't like much younger girls.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Your
what I'm
preference
saying, like 2 years is such a
very
hilarious...
arbitrary.
I guess
It's very arbitrary. It's like one of those things where
I get that it's like peculiar. That's mine, but that's just how I feel. I don't like girls much younger than me. Like, probably even like 3-4 years is like my max like range. I'm like,
Right.
that's you're a little too young for my personal preference.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
I don't really. I feel like it's a little bit too, because it's one of those things where I feel like individuality really counts. Where there's people that are, say, I was pretty open. Like, say, I once went on a date with a girl that was a lot older than me. I think she was like, this was maybe 3 years ago, and she was like mid-30s or something. And
Well, that's for the culture. You got to go older girls for the culture. That's just how it works.
it's for the culture. And the thing is, though, that particular person, like, we definitely didn't have much in common, but I don't think it had to do with her age. She just wasn't into the same shit. But I know, like, say, one of my favorite podcasts I listen to, like, the wife, there's so much that, like, it's weird listening to her talk about a lot of stuff, the same music and the same type of stuff and comedy and sense of humor. I'm like, oh, even though she's fucking, like, 42 or whatever, she's in her fucking early 40s, I'm like, we have, like, not like anything would ever happen. I'm just saying that
You
age
could
doesn't really matter.
you would be able to like have real conversations
Yes.
or at least like relate to each other in a way that you because there are people that are my age that I can't relate to, you know.
Yeah,
who
exactly.
like
Relating
completely
to
different.
women. This is insightful.
Oh my god,
Continue, please. Continue.
you're ridiculous.
It's just, it's just one of those things where, kind of like with everything else with like height and ethnicity and stuff, I don't like to discount that. I don't like to just be like, this is my preference. Here's my small little fucking window. Here's my small little box, and then all of a sudden you miss out on probably some really genuine connections or whatever.
Non-sexual preference too. Wow.
Okay, I
And
didn't
race.
say that. Well, I'm
at
just
you.
saying. Yeah, you miss out on some really cool dudes, and you're like, oh, damn, that guy's fucking awesome. But seriously, it's one of those things where it's like,
It's actually it's honestly just like it's just like friends, you know, like Sweeny, like Mick is so much older than us, you know.
Yeah, but he's still cool as shit.
But that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah,
like
that's true.
He just fits perfectly in. Like there's nothing like you don't even
true.
think of him as being like particularly out of place, even though
he's like 63.
yeah,
I think he's like 39, right? 39?
he's in his 40s.
That's nuts.
Yeah, and he's just like super chill and really cool, and he just gets along with everybody because you just happen to be into the same stuff. I get it. Like, look,
Yeah.
I think personally it's a little weird because he's like 51.
Sure.
He matched with a 19-year-old. I think that's a little weird purely because like at the bare minimum to me is like, look, once you're an adult, you're free to do whatever the fuck you want. But like even so, I think at the very least,
Don't double your age, man.
well, no, not even that. All I'm
Yeah,
saying, like,
that's
no,
a
hold
huge one for
on.
me.
Just the basic thing to me is just like the first number in the age has to at least be a 2. Like at the very least. Like I feel like because it's a 19, like it's technically a teenager still.
Well, yes.
Yeah,
you know,
she
so it's
is
still
a teenager. Yeah.
it's not like illegal or wrong necessarily. It's just weird to me that
Yeah,
you would
it's-
match with
there's no
somebody
way
that
around
young
it.
on purpose.
There's no like, technically there's nothing wrong with it, but you can't get around the fact that it's creepy.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Say you can't get around it. Where it's one of those things where
I wouldn't cancel. I wouldn't like cancel Matthew Perry for it or anything, but
You
Yeah,
should
right.
shame
It's
him
like-
for it, though.
because here's
Shame
the
him.
reality, because we're talking about like connections and all this stuff. Let's be real about this scenario. Matthew Perry just wants to bang some 19-year-old pussy. Like that's what this
And
scenario is.
19-year-old pussy was very recently not. Like, it was very recently in his life. Like, the person he is right now could potentially be the same person he was like 20 years ago. But she wasn't around 20 years ago. That's why it's strange. That's why that's just strange to me.
Nobody's thinking about it in that way, though. That's weird to think of it in that. The way you're thinking
That's
about
not
this is
weird.
what-
That's not strange. That's not obscene.
No, that like, oh, you weren't around when I was a kid. What the fuck does that even
No.
mean?
He wasn't around when he was a fucking full-grown adult.
When he was even still, look at
That's strange to
you're
me.
missing. I understand. This is what I'm saying. This is like me devil's advocating for Matthew Perry, because I'm sure this is what he's thinking. Young girls are hot. I want to fuck a young girl. Like that's basically what he's thinking. Like, oh, let's see. I could match with a girl in her 40s that probably has a ton of baggage if she's single, Because think about it. Let's be real. He has a ton of baggage for being in his 50s and single. He's been through relationships. He's been through who knows what the fuck he's been through. He probably has kids. I don't know anything about him, but he probably has a lot of fucking baggage. That 19-year-old is a dumb TikToker, and he just wants to bang. Like, I'm assuming that's all it is.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense that's how, like, what he would be thinking.
Yeah,
I still just think, I think it wouldn't have been, that's the thing, it's like, it wouldn't have been creepy to me, though, if she was, like, 22. It just would have been like, all right, well,
it would have been a little weird for me too.
I don't know. Like, you're an adult. You're an adult. Like a 22-year-old woman is going to be hot for to everybody.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not much of a difference, right?
Yeah, an attractive 22-year-old is going to be attractive to you regardless. Like, it's because that's just what an attractive person looks like. Attractive a 25-year-old too, as well. It's just like at a certain point, you're just attractive.
But
you're right, though.
That 25,
you're right.
That 25 is the year for me where it's like nothing matters anymore. When you're 25, you're 25. You know, like you've been an adult for a while. You've lived your live. You've done what you've done.
I'm not talking about dating, by the way. I'm literally talking about.
But that's just like my thing.
Well, you were talking
25.
About,
at like it's just like you're just like you've been yourself. You know, like 25, you're starting to develop into the person that you are really. Usually outside of your house. Usually like you're doing your own things and you're figuring out the world. You're encountering like things that like adults genuinely encounter. So for me, 25 feels like that's the age where like it all really goes out the window. If a 25-year-old's dating a fucking 85-year-old man, like that's peculiar. But she's a 25-year-old woman. She knows.
Yeah.
I understand that, and especially if we want to get like science involved, people talk about the front of the cortex, the frontal cortex. Yeah, that not being developed until your mid-20s. So there is an argument for that, but then that would mean a lot of things should be shifted if that's the way that, like, say.
I agree with that, though. I agree with that. It should be shifted.
Well, the thing is, it would make the world very different and probably much more. And I think this is the problem. Like, say, one thing that I've seen about, like, say, Europeans, like, where they have younger drinking age, younger consent, all this bullshit, they don't seem as stupid as us because they're experiencing things at a younger age and it doesn't fucking matter. Like, say, in like the way that, say, high schoolers drink over here because it's all taboo and cool and like smoking and shit. They're like, it doesn't matter because it's just there.
Yeah, they're over it earlier, I think.
Yeah, it's just there. So it's not like let's go party and drink and get fucked. You know, like, yeah, they'll do that, but the people that continue to do that, or like the alcoholics, and everybody else is like, yeah, we've been there.
When I went to London, we went out drinking, and it was nuts because I was 16 and I could drink, and that shit was bananas. People were getting fucked up. Like, people like that were definitely younger than me in there were getting fucking blitzed. Like a 14-year-old kid with a kid face. Like, he still has a very soft, non-weathered face. Was in a pub with me, and I was just like, he's too young to be here because I'm too young to be here. And he was just sloppily drunk. And I was just like, this is fucking, these guys are cool. No wonder they were in pretty much every war they were in, you know?
I mean, and maybe what I'm saying too could be wrong. It's just the vibe that I get from a lot of like over there, where you just don't hear about the same type of shit, like the way that we're handling stuff, and like, say, hey, you can't drink till you're 21, and everyone's like, I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna fucking get fucked up and all this stuff. By the time I was 21, I was pretty done with getting drunk.
Well over it.
Yeah,
well over it.
And it's one of those things that there's some people that I know that adhered to that. They didn't want to fuck up, whatever, and they went ham in their 20s. It was fucking weird.
It's like Chris and Jalen. You two were like, wow. They're like, I don't really want to drink. I don't really want to drink. And when you guys started drinking all the fucking time, and I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, well, that was because the people that I knew who were drinking were young and annoying. And we couldn't do anything. Like, if we're getting drunk, I had to go to some fucking house party, and then like someone was gonna throw up because everybody's a fucking kid. I'm not gonna drink.
Loved it.
I'm not gonna drink around. When I was 15, I just didn't want to be around people who were drunk. I didn't want it. When you're an adult and you can like leave and you can do like everything of your own volition, then it's a lot more attractive to be like, all right, yeah, you know what? Maybe I will. Maybe I will partake because no one is going to be as reckless. Like, even as insane as the parties that I went to when I first got out here was, like, as drunk as me and Jalen ever got, it was never as insane as some of the shit that I had seen when I was like 15. I remember some kid at some party that I was invited to and I didn't go. He like fell in a lake and half drowned, and he like he woke up in like the hospital like a week later. I don't know if this is true necessarily that he woke up in the I'm sure he like passed in and out, but like he was all fucked up. Like, he was all fucked up when he got back. It took him, like, months to recover because he was an idiot kid who didn't understand, hey, drinking and swimming isn't a good idea.
Nice.
When you're 20-something, you kind of understand because you've at least driven a car for a while, or, like, you've lived on your own, or, like, you understand base responsibilities in a way that, like, a 15-year-old just doesn't.
That's what I liked about drinking personally was, like, just the fun of it. It's like the shit that happens at like I every now and then
also
have like a small sip of something.
Well, I should also say that like it's just not a good idea for younger people to be drinking in general for their own developmental reasons. That's the main reason I didn't want to do it. It's like I already got all sorts of mental illnesses. I don't need to kill any more any more of my brain cells before I have the max amount.
But for me, I think it helped me get used to, like, because now I don't drink, and I'm like, I don't really want to drink. I did this already, you know, like that. I've already done all those wild things. I've already, like, don't do this, guys, but I've already been driven home drunk by one of my fucking homies who's drunk as shit, and we're all like blasting like fucking Where the Hood At while we're driving home drunk. Like, I've done all of the possible like wild party things, all that stuff like that, and I understand that like for me that mellowed me out as I got older. Now I'm just like I just want to chill. I don't need alcohol. Any sort of substances. You wouldn't recommend that. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody, but like for me it helped me out.
But that I think has like weirdly tainted your relationship with alcohol to the point where it's like it's only a means to a ridiculous party.
Oh no,
like,
not really. I just don't like
see
it
as anything else.
Because I don't like it. I don't like how it tastes very much anymore. Like I've already experienced it. It's like same thing with weed. Like I've already smoked and done edibles and hit gravity bongs and fucking done dabs. Like I've done all of that already.
That's
so like
weird
there's nothing else for me.
But that's like saying like you've experienced video games, you know?
Well, not exactly.
Or like I've experienced cinema. I've experienced chicken.
Video games are very
it doesn't
different.
Have look at like there's negative side effects to drugs and alcohol.
There's negative side effects to literally everything we do.
Like, I mean,
not necessarily.
Yeah,
like,
literally going out in the sun. Literally going out in the sun has negative consequences.
That's not what we're talking about, because you were talking about activities like, say, video games, that ones that you mentioned.
Right.
Specifically. Like, just playing a video game, there is no negative side effect to just playing the game. Well, but once you ingest alcohol, it fucks up your liver. It impairs you just by doing the thing. That's the difference.
Or even for me, as much as it turns out to, is like I've been drunk, I've not been drunk, and I've realized that I have more fun when I'm just not drunk. That's it. When I was younger, I was doing that shit because I was fucking upset at shit, and I was like, I'm just not gonna have a good time. I was doing it because people were doing it. It was more or less like peer pressure thing, particularly for me. When I started drinking and smoking, I was like, oh, everybody does this. I want to at least experience. I want everybody's having so much fun. And now I'm just like, I did that already. Like I'll still hang out and I'll still chill people, but like I'm not gonna be the person getting drunk or drinking particularly, because it's like I'm fine. Like I don't need that to just have a good time or be at a party. Like I'll just be at a party and be myself, and that'll be more than enough fun for me.
Except you leave
parties
constantly.
I don't leave parties constantly.
Dude, when there are people over here, dude, you stay in your room and then you come out and then you talk to everybody for like 15 minutes and then you leave again.
No, when everyone's over, I'm just out there. Unfortunately, especially when everybody's over at my house, I'm like, I can't leave. I want to leave. I want to leave all the time, but I just don't. You're a
60-year-old already.
I'm not a 60-year-old. I've done it, guys. I've just
You're
done
already married.
Yeah, that's true. We've been over this. That's true. You're a married man in his 50s.
I'm not married. I've just done it. I've been to all the places you guys are gonna go, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Awesome, you know. I don't do the party stuff anymore. I'm too old for that now. At least me. I
get what you're saying, man. I get what you're saying. And the thing about alcohol, I would have zero problem having a few drinks every now and then. Like actually I did last weekend. The thing is though, I had I think 3 beers and I woke up feeling fucking awful. I was really upset. because I had to work. I had to do a lot of stuff, and I had to just sleep it off. And I was so fucking mad because I'm like, dude, I wasn't even drunk. You gotta get having 3 beers in in 5 hours or whatever the fuck.
Man.
You're getting older, dude. That's why, man.
No, man. This is like I didn't like getting drunk either because hangovers were so terrible. And then like, you find out that Pedialyte exists, and it just
hydrating,
It just literally, not even just hydrating, but just Pedialyte by itself literally just takes away one of the biggest barriers of being drunk in the first place. And it's
For me,
like,
it's just drinking water, dude. If you just drink water the whole time while you're getting drunk and you're actually pissing out the alcohol, you're gonna be peeing a lot all night. Well, but
it definitely helps.
Chilling.
But like the Pedialyte and why it helps, it replenishes like the electrolytes that you're pissing out like crazy.
Right. Yeah, and it's amazing. Like I remember like one of the best. Like I remember I woke up once after I had like an insane amount to drink. It was at a VidCon. I remember I had like Jaeger bombs and like fucking the whole day I was drinking. But I had like a whole thing of Pedialyte before I went to bed. I woke up feeling like literally better than I probably ever had upon waking up. It was like insane. I was like, wow, I had a great night. I had a great day. And now I'm fine and I feel great. Like that feeling of that immediate succession between like I just had a ridiculously raucous night and I'm fine now is like one of the best feelings ever.
It's gratifying. It's like, why don't I keep doing this?
It's like a cheat. It's like you discovered a cheat code almost. It's like, oh shit, we just cheesed this boss because we all popped the super at the same time. It wasn't meant for this. It wasn't meant to withstand this fucking electrolyte beam.
I don't know what you call it. When it's social situations, when it's like very social, like, oh, this is a once in a lifetime thing, I'll do it. Like, we're not gonna do this very often. I'll have a drink or two, maybe,
Like the VidCons that we invited you to 3 times in a row, and then they stopped happening.
Other things happened, and I didn't go, right? And I understand that. I get it. But like, if like there's a party going on, like a going away party, or if there's like a big celebration for like a holiday, I'll drink a little bit, maybe, or I might even get drunk. The thing is that I haven't been drunk, like really on my ass drunk in so long that I'm scared, because I remember when I was young and I'd get drunk, I would get rowdy. I would get very wild.
I thought you were gonna say something else.
What?
It's like there was an R in there. You're like, when I get drunk,
God, chill. I get very very worked up and wild, and I don't want to get like that. I'm too old for that shit. I'm too old to like get drunk and be like, yo, I'm gonna rob this guy. Like, I don't need that, because then I'll just go to jail for real time. Yeah,
you definitely shouldn't be causing a ruckus outside.
Oh man, yeah,
that's annoying regardless of how old you are. Like,
I'll get tased.
Oh man. Anyway, fucking I don't know. The whole Matthew Perry thing is like, I don't know. It's to close things out. I would just say there's nothing wrong with meeting fellow adults, but have some. I would say at the very least. This is bare minimum stuff, guys. This is bare minimum stuff. If you're in your 50s or your 40s, at least 20 and up. All I have to ask of you.
21 and up, at least.
Well, I would personally say like 23 and up. That's me personally. But just that's such a simple rule. You're fucking 50. You're 51.
Yeah, like in your 50s, 25-year-old. That makes sense. I bet he's gonna do it now. I bet now he's like, let me bump it up just a little bit.
He changed his whole flow after this. He's gonna be a whole different kind of person. He's gonna be like Machine Gun Kelly with all the pop music. He's the pop.
What if he's like resentful and he like goes to high schools now or some shit?
You gotta calm down. You gotta calm down with that. You just change. I want my hair to rest like this. I want my hair to rest down like this.
Nobody wants that, Sweeny.
I want it. I'm just gonna.
Oh my god. On to questions.
What's up, guys?
Since we were talking about Mortal Kombat earlier, somebody wrote in. Mercs1889 actually wrote in.
Mercs.
He's a big supporter of your friends here on Twitch. He wrote in about not video game movie adaptations in the sense that like, oh, Mortal Kombat was like a movie based on a video game, but like I think he's talking about movies that are made into video games. He says, "What up, boys? One of my dream goals is to start a studio that actually makes good video game movie adaptations." Video game movie adaptation. What does that mean?
That means make a movie off of a video game.
off of video game. Studio is the thing that kind of tripped me up, because studio I attribute to fucking video games for some reason. What video game would you love to see a movie adaptation of? For me, the top choices would be Doom. We've already got that twice, Mercs.
We got 1,000 of them.
Because it'd just be 2 to 3 hours of straight carnage. 2 to 3 hours of straight carnage sounds awful in movie form.
Too much.
Because it's exhausting. They actually, now that I think about it, wasn't there like a...
Hardcore
my
Harry.
God. Huh?
Hardcore Harry or Hardcore Henry?
Hardcore Henry.
Yeah.
Hardcore
hated
Henry
that.
was just that, and it was like, I remember watching it and thought, like, this is cool, but I would never watch this again because I got sick while watching it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I have no problem with the action. That first person shit was fucking gnarly. It was shaking way too goddamn much.
Yeah. It was a cool movie. Like, it was cool that people did that, but like,
cool
I
concept.
don't know if it I don't know if it worked as
exactly
well. I don't know if it worked super well, but I'll be real, man. I don't want to see video game movies. I don't think... I've always felt like, and we talk about this, Colin and I talk about this on Sacred Symbol sometimes when the situation arises, but I feel like video games have like a weird insecurity problem where they're like, they need cinema to kind of validate their medium for whatever reason. It's like, it's not good enough that you have genre-defining classics that are dwarfing the sales of like every movie that exists. It doesn't matter that video games destroy cinema as far as like profitability and like money's raised.
At least, yeah.
That none of that matters. They need like the respectability, or they feel like they want the respectability that cinema has. It's the same reason why you have a video game awards in the first place, like, and why it tries to be the Oscars kinda, but it can't be. You know, it's like, why do you want a Last of Us movie when you have The Last of Us, which is like already like one of the most cinematic games that exists, and it's probably a story that benefits. Like, imagine New Vegas or BioShock in a movie. Like, you can't. Skyrim can't be a movie. It would be like a really boring, unremarkable thing.
Pick a storyline that wouldn't really.
Yeah, I feel like if anything, movies are better as shows. I mean, video games are better as shows.
I agree. Yeah.
If anything, they're better as shows. Like, I think Castlevania excelled in showing that this show can be done episodically. This game can be done episodically very well. You also, me and Chris talked about this on the stream, actually, like literally, like I think last night. But we spoke about how video games that are adapted to other things, they need a change. You can't do the exact same thing, but you have to still stay true to the source content, which a lot of people end up messing up because, unfortunately, in Hollywood and people that make movies, they're not exactly fans of what they're making movies of. That's why so often adaptations are fucked. Like Mortal Kombat. If someone played Mortal Kombat that made that movie, they would know, oh, the characters that have to be in this movie are Jax, Liu Kang, Kun Lao, Scorpion. Like, it would have had like a certain group, and of course Johnny Cage. The main character, the big hero, is Liu Kang. You know, that would have been a focus that they had, because they know they played the games. You know, the people that did Witcher, you can tell they played Witcher. They know what the Witcher story is about. The people that made Castlevania, you can tell they played and they know what the story's about. And they changed things slightly to make it like, oh, this is going to be fun as a visual medium to show people something a little different. But often people just don't. Like Batman vs. Superman, ain't one example. The people that made that movie they are not fans of the characters. Because if they were, they would have been able to easily make a movie about them.
Well, look, see, that's also another issue where even when there are sometimes people that are involved that are heavily invested in stuff, like Zack Snyder was like, oh, when he said, I'm taking influence from The Dark Knight Returns, and everyone was like, oh, sold. But you have producers that are saying, you know, Man of Steel, in our opinion, was a fucking mess, so slow everything down, make everything, like, they basically had a vision and then fucked his vision in the ass to where it was just like, now nobody likes it. Like, it's for nobody now. Because it just got pulled into all these different garbage directions. And then the other thing about video games or whatever, at least you can attempt with comics or books to make a movie, because it's now you're taking what was your own visualization, your own like interpretation or whatever of like just like either just frames or just words, and then it's like, let's make a film out of it. And he said the video games, that shit already exists. It's there. It's mapped out for you. So now it's kind of like, this is never going to be better. The cinema's never going to be better than the video game.
Yeah,
because the video game, it's already there. It exists.
Yeah, and also just like a good story in a video game is made better by the fact that you have agency over it and you can make choices. Like Red Dead Redemption 2 is amazing. It is just one of the best stories I think I've ever seen in like any medium period. But it is made better by the fact that it is you going through those narrative beats. Like the fact that you choose to do things at certain points and you choose to have certain interactions with certain characters and you're going through the world and you're kind of having these like little like vignettes of like discover, like that dude who gets kicked by the horse and dies. Like
that shit blew my mind.
or just even if you just choose the story, even just like the stories that come up that are completely non-narrative. Like let's say you just go to a pub in Red Dead and you get drunk and then like you stumble out and then you bump into somebody and then that pisses them off and then they're fighting you and then like you fight them and then you kill them and then like suddenly like the law's after you and then you got to run into some swamp. Like that's a story that's not written. That's not like dialogue that or like a script that somebody wrote. That just happened because the game is good. And you can't really capture that in a movie. You could take all of Red Dead's story and even map it out into like a series. And it'd probably be very good, but I don't think it would be as good as the game already is. And that's kind of the problem with a lot of these things. It's like, first of all, Sweeney's right. The only thing that these things can really translate to is television or like a TV show, because your average game is like 6 hours, 10 hours, 15 hours. You're not even the shortest game at like 5 hours, 4 hours. It's going to be hard to condense that into like a coherent like 1 hour 30 or 2 hour movie. Like it's just not going to work as well.
Yeah.
But even then, man,
Machinima's kind of showed us that like back when they were putting these web series out. And I was like, well, why aren't they do this? And it's weird that they did that with Mortal Kombat. And it's like, let's make a 2 hour movie where it's like you already see what should have been done. Or there's the examples.
The fan reception was great. I remember that. That's when like right before Mortal Kombat 5 came out, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is gonna be the new thing." And I was like, "This is really cool." They did it for Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter.
Yeah, they did Street Fighter. They did a couple seasons of Street Fighter, and it was just really strange that we already had these examples. And the same thing like you saw with Deadpool, where they did like the things right, where it's like, here's a movie where it's like we're gonna take this basic ass story, but we're just going to do what the fans want, and it was pretty fucking successful. And you think that just at least take that example. If we're going to make a movie, let's just do what the fans want, and you're going to make an assload of money. Because Deadpool made a lot of fucking money. Broke a lot of records for being an R-rated film.
I don't like Deadpool's character at all. I hate that character. But I love that movie. I love the Deadpool movie. It's just a good fucking time.
I like the Deadpool movie less as time goes on, but at the time it was super refreshing to see a movie like that. Like I remember at the time it was so boring to just go to the movies, superhero movie after superhero movie, and just kind of get the same shit over and over again. And then that movie came out and it was insane. But yeah, man, I don't know. That would be my take. I would just say, like, look, if you're going to do this at all, don't do a movie, do a show. And if you're going to do a show...
Take everything to Netflix.
What?
Everything on
just
Netflix.
Take everything to Netflix. That's basically short answer.
Yeah, just straight up.
And it'll do good. It'll do good, and you'll get your money. You'll be like, damn, I don't know why everyone's not doing this. And Netflix will be like, thank God we are hemorrhaging.
They just became profitable last year after... what is it? However long they've been a business.
But they became very profitable last year, which is crazy.
I hear these fucking this shit. Honestly, man, I always feel like they're fucking lying, dude.
Probably.
Like when I hear these things, because I hear it about like a lot of companies, like, oh, they barely became profitable, and I hear their numbers, and I'm like, where's this money going?
It's going to production. It's going to production. They borrow a lot of money because how I think it works is because Netflix is so popular and so many people pay for it, and they have data that shows that they're like, they're doing really well and people keep buying Netflix. They're allowed to borrow a lot of money because they can prove that they're worth a lot, but they don't actually have that money.
It pretty much shows
it's all debt
in their
money.
Hands, right? Is that going money? How much money's passing through their hands?
It's Right. It's just all borrowed money, and like also just all the money that they make goes back into like making stuff as well. So like, but they were borrowing a lot of it too. So they recently just got to the point where they were like in the green, like in the last like year. Where
they're very in the green now. It's very, very, very in the green.
I mean, it's going to happen quick with any company that's making that much money. But same thing with Microsoft, by the way. Like Game Pass doesn't make money technically, not yet, but eventually. After it reaches a certain point of subscribers, where you got like, let's say you get like 50 million people spending, you know,
$15,
$15 a month. That's a lot of fucking money.
It's a lot of money. Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird. I'm not even going to pretend to know about that. I don't even know if what I said is accurate, but
probably is.
That's how I.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, that's how I interpret the information that's been given to me. Next question. From the spider that crawls in your mouth while you sleep. He writes in, he says, "Hello, you pathetic troglodytes. I've sent in questions for the past 3 months and still nothing. Fucking bite me. Now listen to me, sir." And this is something that I kind of like. He has more to this question, but I want to get into this immediately. You guys, you gotta ask better questions. I'm seeing a lot of like, who's gonna win, a bear versus a spider? And it's like, a bear, I guess. Like, we love you, but like, dude, my brain is sometimes I sit there sweating, looking at at the document. Dude, sometimes I sit there sweating, like trying to find a question that isn't insane. And congratulations, spider that crawls in your mouth, because this week you got one in. My question is for Derek. He says, since you are very much a fan of modding games like Skyrim, have you ever watched any videos of MXR mods? I have no idea what MXR mods are.
I think so. I think that sounds very familiar. MXR, because I think I remember seeing that that tag. I think I remember seeing that tag on like on YouTube videos. So let me look that up real quick.
MXR mods seems to be a YouTube channel. But it's just I guess
okay.
Oh my god.
it's very scantily clad shit.
Oh, nice. Nice.
And I specifically have used some MXR mods. Yeah, so absolutely. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Skyrim particular probably Mass Effect, but I know Skyrim for sure.
Mass Erect, more like
Mass Erect, absolutely.
That's damn.
Man, I can't wait, dude. I'm gonna fucking play this new Legendary Edition at fucking 80K. Fucking just all the mods.
Just make your fucking computer explode.
I'm just gonna
dude.
as soon as it boots up, it's gonna melt.
I can't wait. I'm not gonna play it on PC. Should I play it on PC or should I play it on console?
I would play it on PC. What the fuck?
I have Game Pass. Don't you get it on free on Game Pass?
Why would it? Oh wow, no, yeah, you might actually, because it's.
Oh yeah, since it's Microsoft.
Is it EA?
Yes, sir. I mean, not the first one, but maybe it is now.
No, but EA, they own Mass Effect, right?
Well, yeah. So I guess it is, you know, because I don't know how contracts work.
So as far as I understand it,
let me check on because I have EA
Game Pass
thing right now.
Game Pass for Game Pass Ultimate has EA Play in it, and EA Play gives you access to every EA game. So if you have that version of Game Pass, then you already you could play it on.
Let me check if Mass Effect.
That's interesting.
Is on here.
At least I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I'm not sure. I'm gonna get it on. I'm gonna get it on PC just because it's like
here.
Oh, nice.
Here.
Yeah. You get on PC.
The Legendary
so
Edition is gonna require what you call Legendary Edition requires the Pro, but I have Pro already, so. Yes,
not bad.
Can do that.
You should get on PC and mod it though, bitch. Like, come on, we're literally talking about mods in this question.
Yeah, but he shouldn't mod it. He's never played it before.
Oh yeah, good point.
I don't. Well, you can just. I don't usually mod video games. I've never been a mod person, truth be told. The only video game I ever really modded was like Smash Bros. Melee into Project M. No, Smash Bros. Brawl into Project M.
That's like the wrong what?
I'm not a modder either, really.
I just
like
play
sometimes.
video games what they are. Like I modded Skyrim and I can kill kids and shit. But like other than that, like
awesome.
like that's it.
But it's I don't know, man. To me, it's just the funnest shit ever. It's like playing Resident Evil. Like I can't wait to just. I want to find the dumbest shit to mod, and I can't wait. I'm not gonna fucking play it until then. To where I'm like, okay,
I'm not gonna play.
Yeah,
it's set. It's set. We're good. We're ready to go. We got fucking like literally that vampire is just giant tits and that's it. Like,
She's
she's
just
literally
pair
just
of
a bosom,
tits.
just
Just a
walking
pair
around
of
or whatever.
giant tits. Could you
And
imagine?
When turns into bats or whatever, it's just a bunch of little tits or whatever or something. I want it
There
to be
are
like, good.
there are really cool mods, but I've never been one. Usually, I like to just play a game for what it is and like try and figure out like what it is that they were trying to do and like and then I'll finish it and I'll be like, that was cool. When I finish it, then sometimes I'll mod it, but it has to be a pretty good game for me to even bother with it. Like Skyrim was one that like when I finished, I was like, all right, I'm gonna mod this because I had beat it. I had seen everything that the vanilla game was gonna be. I'd seen all the other shit. I wanted to kill kids. Let me.
I wanted to kill kids.
Yes, absolutely, man.
But I think for the most part, I think your first playthrough of any video game should be modless. Generally speaking, as like that's just that's how I go about it. But
I agree. I agree. Well, the only thing that I don't, if I'm not that invested in the game, then I don't give a shit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
if the game's not, if you don't like what you're playing, then like fuck it, why not? Just go to town on it. But I wouldn't have, like, I'm trying to think of like a good example, like a great video game. Like I don't think I would have modded.
Like, do it before
Red Dead.
Like,
I would have modded Red Dead.
Yeah, like I wouldn't have modded Red Dead, on my first playthrough. Like maybe. If I decided to play again and I wanted to play as like Thomas the Tank Engine and just some fucking bullshit. Did you see the Lady Dimitrescu or Lady Dimitrescu Thomas the Tank Engine mod?
Yes,
What?
I saw that one.
Just a thick Thomas the Tank Engine. It's fucking horrifying.
I saw that one.
But yeah, I don't know. Mods
People
are fun.
don't know how to leave video games alone, man. Sometimes people.
Nah, it's great, man. It's what look at like Resident Evil 8. 7 and 8. I played 7 for the first time last year. I just wasn't that invested, so I threw mods on immediately.
Yeah.
And same with 8, where it seems really cool, but also, like you were talking about in the very beginning, the whole first person aspect, and where it's just all it is just anxiety inducing pretty much, and putting you in awkward situations to feel like that panicky. Where I'm like, I liked it. I liked, say, for example, what Mr. X did, because it did give you anxiety, but I could move. I can see it. I felt like it felt fair. It felt fair. Or like this shit where it's just like,
really?
I'm in the smallest corridor.
Games, man.
It's not. Wait, what'd you say?
It never scared. Like I'm just not.
It's not scary. It's
or
just
even
the anxiety
inducing.
from anticipation, because some dumb shit's gonna come and get you. And then you're usually in a small corridor where you can't move very well and you can't see that well.
Sweeny is
the way they
barely
design these
human.
things.
The way
That
he
doesn't scare me.
sometimes, the way you speak sometimes, like it's like bare minimum humanity.
Cause like what? Like that's
It's
so
like
like.
video
not-
games.
you're
Video games
missing
don't
the
scare
point.
me. I don't like to have fun with my friends. I think alcohol is dumb as a premise.
It's
just all this
what?
like you're just like a pod person.
I'm
You're
not a
missing
pod
the point,
person.
dude.
I'm just.
You're
I
missing the
just
point.
what you
It's
call
not
like.
scary.
It's
just like you
anxiety
can be-
inducing. I understand. I
Yes.
get that. I get it's anxiety inducing. It's supposed to be anxiety inducing. For me, that's just like because it's like I know
Why do
what's
you
about to
why
happen.
do you play Resident Evil if it doesn't?
I have Resident Evil because I like shooting zombies in the face. I like seeing them get scared when I'm about
Well,
to
there's
put
not
the
even zombies
law
anymore, man.
put the
They're
law
all just-
against their face.
they're just creatures now.
But Resident Evil, just the damage output and like the feedback from the weapons isn't even satisfying.
I like
for,
I like killing things.
But it's
I like
not.
killing things, particularly in video games.
I understand that, but
don't
that's
even
like
kill
such a
that much.
weird. That's such a
You
weird.
kill a lot, dog.
they give you like 3 bullets and then they're like, all right, go ahead.
In 7 you don't really kill that much. You kill like the family
a little bit.
I
8
guess.
is more
8 you
action.
kill a lot of motherfuckers, dog. Like there's a point where you catch at least an easy 110 bodies in like 10 minutes, dog. And it's like, bro, damn, these people.
I think it's weird to play Resident Evil for the combat. I think that's weird.
I play for like the cartooniness, like just the ridiculous of it. Like, cause it's what I played. Dead Space scared me. That game scared me. Dead Space 2 scared me a little bit. I was like, oh, I'm a little scared. Fear scared me a little bit. But then at that moment, I'm just like, after that, I'm like, 'cause even movies don't scare me at all anymore. Like I got to a point where I would just watch horror movies and I'd be like, damn, dude, this is boring. What is it? Like, what movie? Insidious is my favorite horror movie. I love that movie. I like it because of how funny it is. not because it's frightening at all. Like, there's nothing frightening's gonna happen in that movie to me. There's a moment where the guy's like sewing, but he's listening to like fucking Tiptoe by the Window, and he's like headbanging to it, and I'm like, that's fucking hilarious. You shouldn't headbang to that music. And I just like that. I like
definitely. There's a spectrum. I won't say if you're on it or not.
I just don't get scared from movies because every situation that's gonna be scary, you can see it's gonna be scary.
I understand that.
and it doesn't bother me.
Movies is very different. This is very different.
Or even movies, or even video games. Like this obviously something could happen right now.
No,
you walk into a room, the lights are flickering, there's red blood all the floor. It's like, oh, well.
I just don't even know why you would even bother playing those games if you don't get anything out of that.
Because I enjoy the experience.
Because that's typically why I don't play horror games either. Is because like they don't usually scare me, so I don't play them. Because what does the game's not going to give? It's not Titanfall. I'm not going to be like, oh, the controls are so good, or like, oh, what a gorgeous map. It's all going to be like, I'm just going to be walking through an environment not feeling anything, and what's the point of even bothering with that?
I enjoy the experience overall. That's what it is for me.
But what's the experience if you're not? What's the experience of a horror game if you're not afraid? The gunplay, the world's design, how things show up to me, like it's all of that's the experience. It's not only just horror for me because I can't get scared by those games anymore. Do you feel anything when you're on a roller coaster? Do you feel nothing?
Oh yes, roller coasters are different because roller coasters are direct me. I'm sitting in a cart that could fall off this thing, you know.
But
so I feel that.
But are you afraid when you go on a roller coaster?
Not so much afraid, more or less exhilarated.
Right.
Because it's exciting.
Even though you know you're going to be okay and nothing bad's going to happen to you.
I'm excited. I'm not like scared about it. Like I'm excited about what I'm going through. It's like I'm excited to play this game and see what's going to happen and experience what's going to happen. I don't get like, I'm not like anxious. I'm just like, oh, this is going to be, I can't wait to see what's going to happen.
I don't know. I guess I just don't understand it. But
it's, I think, I don't know, maybe because, maybe that's why you know, these aren't your favorite games or something, but maybe if I kind of understand doing it for the experience of like, oh, I just want to see what this game's about and I want to experience the story and all that shit. Maybe I get that. But as far as it, because I feel the same way, these don't freak me out. However, I get anxiety from those games because, and I thought about it, it's because I hate dying in games. Especially games that I'm not super invested in. Like Dark Souls, you're going to fucking die. Well, it doesn't matter. So it's just kind of like, I'm really invested in this game. That I don't get anxiety from that shit. But these games where I just kind of want to breeze through it and I know I'm going to get my ass kicked at some point because shit just pops up out of nowhere and you're unprepared and then you kind of need to be prepared like the second time over or whatever, traps and shit like that.
But that's
usually where I'm like, fuck, I know I'm not prepared because they're literally doing shit on purpose to like make you unprepared. It's not like just minions showing up to fight you and you're like, oh, I got this.
But for me, what happens in Resident Evil, this one, I died 3 times the whole game. I didn't die very much at all because I don't know. Like, I feel like when I play most video games, I like, oh, every video game to me is a puzzle pretty much. There's a puzzle on how I'm going to win this. And when I play Resident Evil, I'm like, all right, cool. I can just see how it's going to lead to what. And what's going to lead to where and how I'm going to get out of the situation, you know? Like, I died, like, the first time I died in a game, I was, like, entering the 3rd chapter. I was just like, oh, I died at the start of the very end of the game is when I died. Because something happened that didn't make sense. Someone started vomiting acid. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that was going to happen. And I died. It caught me off guard. But other than that, like, enemies don't kill me. I don't get trapped because I know how to keep moving around. I don't get killed by like random things. I don't ever like stop moving. Like, it's just because I've played all these games before. I'm not going to get surprised by how this game plays. Or what it feels like.
Then why play it if it's not going to surprise you?
Because I still enjoy the situation. I don't play things for surprises, you know? Like, I read comic books, you know? Every comic I read, I'm not going to really get surprised. I just want to see how each person's going to go through the experience. I'm going to experience how this person goes through it, opposed to how that person goes through it, because it's just a different experience.
I remember... the first BioShock scared me when I was a kid because I remember that there was this scene at the beginning of the game that's like really. First of all, that game is fucking masterful with its
really
fucking
good tone, really good
environment with the atmosphere of it is fucking amazing. But I remember the beginning of that game, you're in an elevator and you're like descending, and you just see these two silhouettes, like when you get to the bottom, and it's just like these, like this guy begging not to be killed, and then this fucking freak mutant person, and he just eviscerates him, and then like the sound is all like really perfect, and like the tone and just the way the camera's set up, and then the thing hops on the elevator and starts breaking in, and you feel like, oh shit, this thing's gonna get in here and kill me, and I shut it off and I played it, I think 3 years later. When I realized what a video game was,
That's,
and I was like,
I've never had that experience. I've never had experience where like
I
when
remember
was
like,
younger,
and after that though, like I could play pretty much any horror game, but it was to the point where like I didn't like them, so I actively kind of like had to get myself into a headspace, where like, okay, I'm gonna play this horror game, and I'm actively going to try to get as immersed in this as possible to the point where I forget that I'm playing a game and I'm actually there, so that I can feel fear. Because otherwise, there's no fucking point in playing this. There's like, I see no value in a horror game if it's not going to do anything to me. So I had to just let myself feel. It's almost like kind of like letting yourself, it's almost like the people who like, I hate Marvel movies. They're not cinema. And it's like, yeah, doesn't have to be though. It can still be pretty enjoyable if you kind of like let loose a little bit. You might have fun with fucking Guardians of the Galaxy or something. And if you can get yourself to do that, then you might find something valuable. And it's the same thing for me with horror games, where I was just like, all right, I'm not seeing value in this because I'm not afraid. Let me try and like not force myself to be afraid, but I guess that's kind of what I try to do. Open myself up to that like anxiety. Because otherwise, I don't really see a point, man.
That's
like,
pretty genius, man. It's pretty genius. For me, I can't let myself, like, I can't let myself be entirely immersed.
I think you can. I just don't think you want to.
No, I feel like I've done it before, and it's, for me, it's like, I'm playing this. This is cool. I really like what's going on. I'll play this game until I'm done with it. But for me, it's like, if I let myself get immersed, I'd be like, I can't, because I wouldn't react like this. I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't be here. That for me is where I'm like, all right, I can't do that. Because like
that's because you think. I feel like I do this too, especially now that we play a lot of competitive stuff, where like you kind of think of every video game as a video game, and so you're kind of playing it as if, okay, there's a lot of ammo in this room. Obviously, there's a boss in the next.
Yeah, I do
I mean?
that. I literally, while I was streaming, I was like, oh, there's a boss coming up, so a lot of ammo in here. But that's how I work. I work it like as a kit. Like, what is my kit? What can I do? Opposed to what can a person do?
That is fair, but I found that it's made my enjoyment of a lot of video games kind of worse.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I'm always thinking about like the meta of it, as opposed to just being like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna sit and I'm going to play Shadow of the Colossus, and I'm not going to think about anything other than like, I'm here. I'm this character going through this shit. And those games, like, and a lot of other games too, this extends, are a lot more enjoyable when you're not thinking about it as like a combat, or like an arena, or like a some competitive thing.
I have a competitive mentality when it comes to games first, but I do too. I can experience it. That's why I love, like, one of my favorite games is Divinity. I think that game's a flawless game. Divinity 2, I think, was the best RPG I ever played in my life. And like, for me, when I play that game, I'm immersed in every character's moments. I'm like, oh, that's a really cool moment, you know? But because the dialogue, because like, I'm playing the game to beat my opponents, but then the dialogue pulls me out of that, like, oh, now, after you did all this bullshit, this person is weeping because he lost his daughter, or this person is like really sad, you know. But at moments I do get too like, all right, now I gotta somehow figure out how to, oh, there's his weakness, I gotta somehow attack that up. He's out of this, and I do that. That happens pretty often.
You know, your analysis of this, it makes me wonder how much you could actually enjoy the Mass Effect trilogy.
Oh, I love it. I'll probably still like it because it's a good RPG.
I mean, it's a good RPG. Like, you'll enjoy it because like the action's like the backseat of it.
I'm fine with that.
And it's like, well, I'm also wondering because how you were examining shit and how you were explaining a lot of stuff, where I'm like, is it gonna like sink in? Like you said, like Divinity or whatever, but I don't know, man.
Because I like KOTOR. I love KOTOR.
That's true.
I love KOTOR. I like D&D literally.
We'll see, man. I mean, we'll see how you.
I'm curious.
How you
yeah,
absorb it. Yeah.
we'll.
What if I hate it
next time?
I'd be like, damn, I hate this fucking game. That'd be hilarious. I'd be like, guys,
in fairness, the first one might be rough. I don't know,
man.
They said they updated it, so who knows?
The stuff, the fixes that made it, they fixed the things that really made it jarring. The fucking the Mako, and then the fucking the UI, like the HUD or whatever. It's like it's they reworked it, and I was like, oh, let's fucking go.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to jump into it. Hopefully I can. I gotta get further in Returnal and then breeze my way through Resident Evil 8 before I do that.
To play fucking Mass Effect.
Let's move on to this. Antiphus Maximus, Basher of Fash, wrote in. This is a question about animation. Greetings, Ethnic Oreo. In animation, do you prefer 2D or 3D? Personally, I like a show like I think a show like Castlevania wouldn't be half as good if they had attempted to do it in 3D. Stay funny, stay frosty. I agree with this entirely. I think it obviously depends because like Spider-Verse is pretty amazing. And that's 3D with like kind of like 2D flourishes and kind of inspirations. But I think generally speaking, 3D just kind of looks off to me.
Yeah.
Depends. If it's like Pixar 3D is good. Like Pixar 3D, I'm down with that because that's good 3D.
Well, because everything looks fucking goofy anyway.
But
the way that they draw shit, it just looks fucking goofy. So you don't. It's like whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of works to their benefit. But like a story like Castlevania would have been terrible if it was animated like Shrek or something like that. You laugh, but like Shrek is actually like really well animated. Like it's
like,
pretty
well animated. I'll give you that.
Yeah, like it's not fucking. It's not Food Fight or fucking or Killer Bean. You know, it's
Killer Bean is hilarious, dude.
I know it's something.
Is Killer Bean is it technically well animated?
No, it's just mo-capped.
Okay, there you go.
It's just motion capture, so like people think it's well animated.
Okay, I was like, this is because I feel like it looks good. Like that's he really is putting a bean on those guys.
Yeah. Whoa, that bean really looks like it's wearing a mocap suit. This fucking animation must be great.
This bean really looks like he's wearing a motion capture suit. That's hilarious.
I notice these things in video games, and it really bothers me. I wish I didn't, but like I can't. Every time I play a video game and there's bad motion capture, I see it like instantaneously. Like it's just. I was playing Borderlands 3 with Jalen like a week or two ago. And Lilith, like when you walk up to Lilith and she talks to you, she does all these like, "Hey, Vault Hunter, nice to see you. Glad you made it." And like everybody's like weirdly animated for no reason, and they're moving their hands just because they can and because they know it's going to be easy for the animators to do because it's just a direct recording of the person's like fucking motion, and it comes across as like it looks like Killer Bean. Like it looks like it looks like Red versus Blue. You know,
mocap is it has its place.
It's good.
I mean, it's great. Like fucking dude, God of War 4. Just look at
they nailed it. Right, and there are other. I think Last of Us nailed it as well.
I think Star Wars. The last episode of Clone Wars when it's Darth Maul versus freaking Ahsoka. I love that motion capture.
That's because they use motion capture as a baseline. You know, they use it as like, hey, let's use motion capture just to get the general movement of this choreography down, but we're going to still animate over it so it looks like it belongs in this cartoonish, like kind of like over the top universe. And a lot of studios don't take that extra step. They just go, we're going to take the motion capture data exactly, and we're just going to put it in the animation because it would be the most realistic, right? It's a direct rip of the animation, but the problem is that people recognize how people move.
Yeah.
And if you see a fucking Pixar character moving like a real ass man, it's gonna be off-putting.
Could you imagine if Woody ran like a regular person? Half of my love for Toy Story is how Woody runs.
Oh yeah, with his dangly fucking. It's like Ed and Eddie shit.
Dangling.
It's like an Ed and Eddie run cycle.
Imagine if Woody ran like a fucking like Usain Bolt. Like real efficiently. I'd be like, what the fuck is this?
He runs like the Gears of War guys run with their hunched down.
When they're all
I hated that,
down.
dude. Because I would try to do that and I'd fall all the time. I'd do that. I'd try to fucking run with my legs bent and barreling forward. No, but this looks disgusting.
It's a fucking ridiculous run, but yeah, I don't know. I think 2D generally looks better. It's a lot harder to pull off too. And it's a lot more expensive because the talent required to do it is so.
Yeah.
You know, it's not easy. I have tremendous respect for
Shout out
2D
Samuel
animators.
Dietz.
Huh?
Shout out Samuel Dietz, bro, for that animation for Castlevania, bro.
Shout out to the Korean sweatshops, baby.
Shout out.
We need more of them, dog. I
need
miss
more
that
Korean
shit.
sweatshops.
Shout out to Zach and Mick and all those guys too.
Yes.
For this fucking
Oh, like on the real.
Fucking Blood Sun
On the real,
Vendetta,
though, yeah.
dude. Such a good job. Mick, if you hear this, you rock. I can't wait to be a voice actor there someday. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be fucking me.
Yeah, we got a what is this? Guy named Gray wrote in. He says, "Greetings, what Chadicus Blaximus, visually impaired sex goblin, and broken watch that's only right once a day." Oh my god.
Is that me?
Yeah.
Fuck you, bitch. I'll fuck your mom.
I am a first-time patron. I've almost completed my first playthrough of God of War 2018, and I'm having a great time.
It's excellent.
But some of the game's mechanics can be frustrating. I particularly dislike the close-up camera and leveling system. Yeah, they didn't really do the
leveling?
The menu system in general was kind of like not good in that game. I remember.
Yeah, it was.
Even the RPG mechanics I kind of felt were just kind of like the different armors that you could pick up. I was just like, I don't know if this game really needs this.
It didn't need it. It didn't need it at all.
Yeah, it felt really tacked on. But he says, what features in a critically acclaimed AAA game of any kind do you guys hate? Features in a critically acclaimed AAA game. So so stuff like, I guess, Red Dead and like big critical darling video games. I guess he's asking like, what is?
Okay,
Well, I think Rockstar in general,
Their gameplay.
No. They're cinematic traveling shit where like there's so much traveling where sometimes I just want to fucking play the game. And look, don't get me wrong, the dialogue is great. It's always good. It's always good. But sometimes I'm like, dude, can I? Like, you can't skip it. You have to fucking drive. You have to ride your fucking horse. And I'm like, God damn it, dude. I just want to get to where I need to go.
Yeah.
That upsets me.
It's frustrating because the dialogue is so good, but the moment-to-moment like experience of just walking somewhere is so boring that you feel like you can't skip it because there's something good there, but you don't want to fucking do the walking. That's what's extra frustrating about it. Is like, you can't skip it because you know you're going to miss out on something good, but how unfun is this?
Yeah, and they put in there, like, we're going to put great dialogue in these moments. And I'm like, are you just trying to increase playtime? What the fuck is this? Like, god damn it, dude.
What's a mechanic that I didn't like from a AAA game? I don't know. I'm trying to think. I feel like I'm fine with most of them. I've never been like, fuck. Oh my god, the menu from Witcher 3 in general. Holy fuck, man. Oh, everything about Witcher 3's menu is horrible. It's the
really
worst
rough.
menu ever, dude. I love that game so much, but it's just the worst menu I've ever come across in my life, bro.
It was one of the things that turned me off from the game one of the first times that I tried it out, because I was just like, this is such a confusing menu. And it throws every tutorial about the menu at
the
you
menu.
the very moment you open the menu the first time. Like it's immediate. Like you have to. Here's how you use your potions. Here's how you make your potions. Here's how you equip armor. Here's how to know if your armor's gonna break. Here's the bestiary. You're gonna need this. Here's like all these berries, and here's where they're gonna be in your little pouch. And here's how to take them out of your pouch. And it's I just had to equip my sword, bro.
I was so mad because in that game, in like very quick passing, they teach you how, like, if you get a monster's head, you could break it down to get like parts to make better armor. I didn't know that. So I was playing through the game and I was like, shit, my stuff sucks. Meanwhile, I had like 47 monster heads with monster hearts, which I could have broke stuff down and made like actual like Witcher armor. And
Wait,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't think of it.
I didn't know that
I didn't
either.
think of it as the way you could break
I thought it,
down
like, brought it up
someone's
as soon
head.
as you killed like the griffin. I think the griffin was like the first thing you killed, and it's like,
Oh yeah, but the griffin's
some
head
shit
was
with
more or
this.
less like a
Wasn't it
like
or
a
something?
trophy. It was a trophy. Opposed to
What
when
was
you
it? I don't
kill,
even remember, dude.
when you kill a drowner, you get a drowner's head. You can dismantle its head and take its eyeballs out, and you'll get like monster eyes, or
I see
like
what you're
monster
saying.
lungs, stuff
Those-
like that.
okay.
And then that's stuff you can use to
see what
build
you're
like
saying.
cooler shit. And I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. In fairness, though, I typically avoid crafting systems in most video games. I find them kind of annoying, but yeah, I don't know. Like it's fun. Like I remember playing Shadow of the Colossus for the first time. I had no fucking idea that there are salamanders that you can kill that like increase your grip strength. So you
Didn't
can
know
hold
that?
on for long. No, the first time I played it, I had no idea. So I beat that game the first time without collecting a single fucking salamander. So I beat like every single Colossus with like the bare minimum
That's pretty good.
grip. And when I found that out, I was like, oh hell yeah, that's awesome. I love that. But like at the same time, it's like, damn, I wish I knew, because there were definitely moments where I was like, this feels impossible. Like this feels fucking this feels so
funny.
insurmountable to me.
Dude, I just talked about my friend, and he didn't know this because started off the question with God of War 2018. My second playthrough. No, it wasn't my second playthrough. It was when I was fighting the Valkyries at the end. I'm talking about when I had to figure it out, because the Valkyries sometimes would do these blocks with their wings. And
You can
I
heavy
didn't
attack
know-
through it.
No, I didn't know you can shield break by fucking double tapping the shield button. Just basically press L1 twice, and then he just does that shield bash, and then it breaks the enemy's defenses. I played through the entire game with, enemies that wouldn't break their shit. I would think, oh, I have to use Atreus. They're making me use Atreus. Or I have to use my rage, and then that will break their defense. I literally didn't know you just double tap fucking block.
You can heavy
and then
attack
it
through those.
breaks defense.
I didn't know that either. If you
No,
hold your heavy
no,
attack,
no.
and you do the chop. No, I saw my friend Joe do it. I didn't believe it either.
I don't think that's accurate.
You can
man.
chop into them. I've seen it, and I was like, "What the fuck is
when
this?"
they're blocking, when
When they're doing the block, when you do that like that grab, like you fucking really hold your sword and you slam it down on them, or your sword, your axe, that'll go through those hits.
I have to try that but I mean, literally the easiest thing is it's what it's made for. You
didn't
just
know
double tap and then it breaks it. And I'm like, and my friend, I was with my friend the other weekend or something, and we were talking about that, and he said, to this fucking day, I had no idea. And I'm like, they didn't mention it. At least if they did, I guess probably everybody plays the tutorials off. Because what the fuck? Like, you
Or you skip through them because you're like, I know how to play.
I know how to play video games. I'm good. I'm MLG. I'm Major League Gaming.
That one is probably, I think there's a lot of people that didn't know that. I think there's a lot of people because it was just like, well, what the fuck? And I'm going to play through that game again and have a much easier time because it's, I don't know. It shit happens though, I guess.
I wish I could play.
I mean,
I wish I could play
that
through that
happens.
game again. I played too much of that game. I beat all the Valkyries. I beat it on the hardest difficulty too. Before New Game Plus, I beat it on hardest difficulty, and I'm just like, I can't play this game again. Because there's too much story parts.
It's still too fresh in my head for me to play it again.
But I was able to play Spider-Man twice in a row. Same thing
That
with
shit
Miles
was like
Morales.
3 years ago. It's pretty crazy when you think about it.
Yeah,
was like,
it was
holy
3 years
shit.
ago. It's crazy. Wild.
Yeah.
Really
and they
ridiculous.
fucking still haven't put out, man. I thought that they had everything mapped out. I thought it was like fucking like Lord of the Rings, where it's like everything's done and we're just gonna drop shit. Like that's what I was thinking.
Derek,
like,
that's
okay.
true, but the world did hit the pause button. You gotta be
Even when
fair.
the pause button-
It's also not how video game development works.
Well, it's of course it's not, but I was just hoping that they at least had enough done. They were at such a head start that so 2018, all right, now we're dropping the second one in 2020. I was just like, okay, we just have a couple of years. Like I was hoping that they had like a head start, and they're like, yeah, we have concepts, but we're gonna start working on everything. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it could, if things didn't go crazy, we could have had it this year.
I don't think so.
Maybe-
We could have
Yeah,
this
who knows?
year.
I don't think so. I think they fucked up immediately.
Immediately?
I think they were just trying. I think they were just looking for a reason to kind of hype the PlayStation 5 up so people would go out and buy it. And they knew that another God of War was coming out eventually anyway. But when you look at the release schedule for this year already, we've had Returnal. We're going to have Ratchet and Clank very soon. Horizon was always confirmed for 2021. There's no room. There's just no room for God of War. Like it's just, it doesn't belong this year.
Yeah.
Like it can't.
I mean, to
Well,
be
look.
fair, they released something, then they released what you call it afterwards, Ghost. But like, yeah, I understand what you mean.
But that was because they were both delayed.
Okay. They were Days Gone. It was Days Gone and Ghost, right?
It was Ghost and The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh yeah, there it was. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's it. I forgot about that game. What the fuck?
The Last of Us Part 2?
Yeah, I kind of forgot about it.
Yeah, most people did.
Interesting.
Or some people got hate boners for it, and they're like really serious, despised boners.
Those people, they don't fuck. They just.
It's weird. It reminds me of.
They like being mad. That's all.
It reminds me of the Mass Effect thing again, where it's just like the story didn't go the way you wanted it to. All right, big deal. Fucking.
It wasn't.
It's not your story to fix. You know.
That actually really upset me, just because it's the way that people that I respect, the way that they remember Mass Effect 3, for example. Like, I feel like I'm like, it kind of reminds me of The Last of Us 2, where I'm like, did you play it? Because I'm like, dude, like, I guarantee
Mass Effect
you, like,
3 is a great game. It's really good. Like, especially that multiplayer, dude. That multiplayer is so sick.
Multiplayer is fun as fuck.
Yeah, I'm sad it's not in the remake.
Oh, it's multiplayer for that game?
Yeah, it's all co-op, but it's like really fun.
It was basically Firefight, but like Mass Effect 3 plays really well. Like the gameplay, like the moment to moment, like combat actually like
it was good.
Mass Effect 1 to Mass Effect 3 is like eons different, like the way that it plays. It's hilarious.
They got
I wonder
it right.
how I wonder if it's going to actually, like, if they fixed it, it might not be that different. Now I think about it, but
it's probably going to be pretty. Like, I'm excited to play 1 and see how it plays with the changes. But yeah, 3 is good. Like, 2 is always really fun to play. But there's some talking about some mechanics. There's the grind of the resources that you need in Mass Effect 2, which makes me want to kill myself. It's the only thing that, now if you did a really good like New Game Plus or whatever, if you kick the shit out of Mass Effect 1, you'll get a lot of resources imported into the second one. They would always do that. So that would help. But like if you're playing a game like bare bones from scratch, the grind to get some resources that you need to upgrade your stuff is so fucking upsetting. You don't have to do it, but it will. It's cool that it actually matters.
Yeah, it does affect the outcome.
And number 3, they have similar stuff, but not really. They kind of made it towards there's so many more casual people going to play this franchise. They took a lot of that out to where it's like, yeah, there's a lot of shit that you can do, but if you don't, it's okay. And the third one is very story driven, and it's a good fucking story, man. It's good. The highs and the lows, I really appreciate it. Game looks great. Wow, game looks great. The ending was fucking weird, but then they did a lot of things that, like, I've talked about it before. They had the Citadel DLCs that came out after, and they also did this patch that basically gave you a better ending. It seems, I'm like, dude, if anybody, the people that are still talking shit about it, I'm like, dude, it's come on, guys.
I liked it when it came out. I liked it when it came out as it was. So, like,
it was okay. I was like, literally, it was like a month later or something. It wasn't even that much longer. I forgot. I'm probably totally wrong about that. But it wasn't that much long later when they had a free patch to add, like, at least somewhat of an ending to where, like, now you can know some stuff that happened afterwards. Because if you did a lot of stuff at the end of the game, and then the game kind of ended, you're like, wait, what happened to this? What happened to that?
It's definitely a lame ending. But, like, I just remember being like, that could have been better. And then I put it down and I was like, that was really fun.
And then you moved on because you're a regular person. You don't harbor over that.
Yeah, you're a regular person, and when you think about a lot of games, like some of the best games out there, they don't have spectacular endings either. Like some of the best games you've ever played, like
BioShock, the first BioShock has an ending that I think is just wholly unremarkable and kind of lazy and really bland. But that game is a fucking masterpiece, dude. Like, that is like one of the most important video games I think that has ever been released. It's just so fucking good. Every part of it is so masterful that the ending, as bad as it is, it doesn't even put a dent in how masterful that game is. And I feel the same way as with Mass Effect, where it's like that trilogy, admittedly, like, I haven't played 1, but I remember, like, liking the story. I just couldn't get past the fucking get past the jank. Totally. But, like, 2 and 3 as, like, 2 games that I played, like, fucking great. Like, a great experience. Yeah. One of the best sci-fi trilogies, I think.
For sure.
For sure. Full stop. And last one,
okay, let's hear it.
we got from Pre-Roz. It's about nostalgic music.
Ooh.
It says, when it comes to nostalgia, what songs sum up your life growing up before adulthood? You can choose up to 5, but you can't go past. I still can't name 5 off the top of my head. My number 1 is Royksop's Remind Me. Is that the fucking Geico? That's
everywhere I go. There's always something to remind me.
Another place in time. That is actually one of them for me too. We spoke about this. This is ironic because we just spoke about this like maybe a week ago. Me and Chris are watching old commercials like we do every year or so. The same compilation of old commercials.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
I could easily go. There's that song. There's I'm Just a Kid. Don't Make Fun of Me. That song reminds me of my childhood so much.
It's a nostalgic song.
All Star.
All Star has been corrupted because the internet. For me, it's like it's more associated with like modern internet than it is like the past.
For me, it's the past for sure. Then there's 13th Chamber by Wu-Tang Clan. That song reminds me of being a little ass kid because I heard that shit everywhere I went. And lastly is you're gonna make fun of me, but the Education Connection rap is a song that's been like, that song is a part of my life. Like I know every word to it. I'm completely on beat. Like that song is so stuck in my fucking head.
Yeah.
Like when I'm on a table and I'm babbling out random shit before I die, I'm gonna sing that whole song.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if I have like there's some songs. And I don't even know if like these are songs that sum up anything, but there are songs that like really bring me back. Specifically, like "I Need to Know," Mark Anthony brings me back to like a really like weirdly simple time. I remember just playing like fucking PlayStation 1 games in my living room on like a big fat ass TV that was like 3,000 pounds. But most songs. The Ketchup song.
Which one's that?
That's A Set of Hay. Have you ever heard that one? It's a mess. It's like a meme song now, but it's like, or at least it was for a little bit. But it was like A Set of Hay, ha, the heavy to the heavy, the sebi, you know, bamo, happy, and the boogie and the boogie dippy. You never heard that fucking song?
No,
I'll play
it just
like
sounds
a
like
snippet
Sugar
of it.
Hill Gang.
It's
just sounds
bullshit.
like Sugar Hill Gang.
It's bullshit. Yeah, it's nonsense.
I said a hip, a hop, a hip. What?
It's literally just. I don't know which came.
I know
first.
the song. I know the song. I hate that I know the song.
We've played it. It's like the Spanish like stupid fucking gibberish song, but it's like most of my nostalgic music is Spanish. It's Bambaleo by like the Gypsy Kings or fucking Suavemente or like a lot of these like a lot of nostalgic songs for me are either Spanish songs or video game music, like the Crash Bandicoot menu theme or like stuff like that really like kind of bring me back. The only English songs that I can think of is I'm Just a Kid, like Sweeny was talking about, fucking Story of a Girl by 9 Days.
Here's the story of a girl. Hate
yeah, and like
Cry River and fuck the whole world. Yeah,
but that's about it. That's
Paramore.
Most of it's
Paramore is a lot of
Paramore,
my fucking childhood.
Paramore is endless for me. Paramore is still relevant to me. Like I'll put on a Paramore song every now and again. Still,
yeah.
I love me some
I'm
Raya.
definitely not.
Yeah,
I'm definitely not listening to fucking Story of a Girl.
Not as much anymore.
When she smelled. Mine is so there's I think most of them have to do with like scores and stuff from like movies and shit and blah 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 stuff like that. But there's that one song Lit. It's that band Lit, and I can't remember that fucking My Own Worst Enemy. It just reminds me of being like in 6th grade or whatever. Please tell me why.
Oh my god, yeah.
That just reminds me of
Try
like
hard to
every.
feel it.
I love that song too. Ew.
that reminds me of being like really like being in middle school. Like that, whenever I hear it, it reminds me of being, for some reason, like it's like summertime, it's hot. I'm wearing this like Looney Tunes alien shirt, and it just brings me back to this time. It's really fucking weird. But yeah, that's probably like the biggest one. Then there's a song on the Mortal Kombat soundtrack. It's the remix of the official Mortal Kombat song. It's by this group Utah Saints, and it was a pretty cool remix, and it was really weird. There was I forgot what there was a stupid show that only had one season on Fox called it was a college show called Undergrad. It was something.
I know that show. God damn, I hate that I know that show.
There's like a what is it called? It was like a what's it called? Like underclass or
underclassmen?
Something like that. It was something stupid, but it had some of the guys from that were, what's that fucking, I can't remember it. I know some people are gonna know what I'm talking about, but anyways, there was like a chase scene that had like the Utah. It had that track. It was the most bizarre and random thing because they didn't choose the main theme that everyone knew. They chose it was probably the most obscure thing, and it's one of those things that it just reminds me of just being young and being so taken back that anybody would choose that fucking track. I wonder if I can find it.
Everywhere I go,
dude,
there's always something to
for some
remind
reason, I don't know why, but this whole
Another place
these specific songs that you guys are mentioning are opening up a portal into my fucking past, and I just remembered this really obscure fucking Sweeny. Have you ever seen this? It was this reality show that Stan Lee made on Sci-Fi called "Who Wants to Be a Superhero."
Yes, I know exactly that. Of course.
It was. I just had a fucking flood of weird memories of this fucking show.
I don't remember.
Weird. It was really weird. It was just this reality show where a bunch of people, came up with superheroes and costumes, and they would dress and they would compete to be the next original Marvel character or something. It was really fucking stupid.
I loved. Oh my god, I love that show so much. That was my dream. When I was a little kid, I'd put my little hand out and reach towards that television show because I wanted it to be me so bad.
It was really cute, but watching it now or looking at these pictures now is really there was this superhero called Fat Mama, grows to 5 times her normal size when angry / eating a donut activates her other powers. I remember she had a donut on a necklace that she would eat. This is so fucking.
That sounds like something we'd make up passing on the podcast.
Yeah, no, it's entirely. It looks fucking bizarre.
I wish I got the chance to make superhero. I might have made a dope ass superhero when I was little.
What were you gonna be, Criminal Man?
Wow, why would I be Criminal Man, Chris?
Because you're a criminal.
Why do you assume that?
Because I don't assume. I know you.
I'm not a criminal.
You're an evil person.
I've never broken.
You're a supervillain, maybe.
I've never broken. I've never broken a major law in my life.
All right, somebody roll the clip of him talking about how he threw a fireball out of a window.
It didn't hurt anybody.
It could have.
Anybody. I heard a scream, but so what?
Yeah, well, Boogie fired a warning shot that didn't hurt anybody, and now he's in jail.
That's what we fucking forgot to mention.
Boogie.
Boogie has a warrant out for his arrest.
No, he got arrested already.
Oh, he turned himself in?
Well, he got bail, I think.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did bail. Bail.
Yeah, because I saw a mugshot of him earlier.
That's
Do you guys know who Frank Castle is?
Yeah, I know him
Punisher?
because of this thing. Because he was the one that showed up to Boogie's house.
No, not Frank Castle. Frank Castle.
No, Frank Castle. He's the guy that showed up to Boogie's house.
Yeah, he. I don't know if I should say. I'm not gonna say it actually, but he's known for. He takes it too far. He does not leave that guy alone. And one time on Twitter, I saw that he made fun of the fact that Boogie's dad sexually assaulted him. And I was like, that has got to be the most evil motherfucker on the planet, dog. That's just not nice. I feel like Boogie's not that bad of a guy.
House. There's really nothing more you can say when this internet troll showed up to somebody's house. That's all you need to say.
That's a weird.
You know what type of person he is. You know what type of person he is.
Yeah, imagine Sweeny, you disagreed with somebody on Twitter, and then you were like, man, this guy's so wrong. And you went and found his address and sat outside his house.
That's so overboard. Oh my God. I was just like, dude, grow up.
Yeah.
Jesus. It's like when little kids how your mom died, good for you. It's like, bro, come on. Just don't be a dick.
Just calm down a bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Don't show up to people's houses. Come on.
Yeah,
He had the right to shoot. He had the right to shoot him, dude. Like I would have shot him. I would have killed him. I would have shot him in the leg.
Hold on. Even in just polite society, as people that you know, you shouldn't just show up to their fucking. You know, usually even as somebody who knows you and is a friend, usually you text or call, being like, "Hey, is it alright if I come over?" Or like, "Hey, I might be in the area." If somebody I knew just walked into my apartment one day while I was just like sleeping, you know, like that wouldn't be all right.
I'd be like, "Hey, what are you doing here?"
And it's certainly not all right when some fucking random troll, you know, actually finds your address and just fucking.
It's insane, man.
I don't know,
Some people let that trolling shit become their hope. It's like Keem. That's just who they are as a person now. Like your legacy is going to be that people don't like you. That's how you're gonna believe this planet.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. That's the least of his problems.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. There's a guy, another YouTuber that dealt with a dude that showed up. What's his name? I can't remember his name. Something with 8 thoughts. There's a guy that streamed another YouTuber showing up to another YouTuber's house with a gun. I don't know if you heard about that.
I didn't hear about this.
I forgot what the guy's name is. The guy, he plays like Call of Duty. He's a YouTuber that plays Call of Duty. And yeah, he was at his house and then somebody showed up to his house, you know, was in the car with a gun, and there was another YouTuber streaming it and laughing his ass off. And
Jesus Christ.
Dude, there's some shit like, I'm like, y'all, like, you don't, there's people that try to say like, oh, like you, Chris, like, oh, you're a commie or you're a Nazi or some shit. I'm like, you just don't know how like fucked up people actually are. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's people out there that are like really fucked up, and then they're focusing on you like you're just minding your own fucking business.
It's pretty wild. It's a fun world, guys. It's a fun universe. This is why anonymity is kind of important.
Yep, never show anybody where I live, because if somebody shows up here, I'm going to try to kill them.
Yeah.
Full warning.
Fair warning. Anyway, we're about at our time, so I just want to thank everybody again. Remember, you can get some merch over at Snark Tank, snarktankmerch.com. And if you like what you heard today, it's a very video game focused episode. I enjoy that.
Yeah.
If you like what you heard today, consider supporting us over at patreon.com/thesnarktank. $1 a month gets you early access to every episode and access to bonus solo episodes. $5 gets you a question read on the show. $10 gets you access to our Discord server. That's one payment and you're in for good. And $25 gets your name dyslexically read at the end of the show, which I will now do. Count me down.
3, 2, 1.
Swagdactyl, Antiphus Maximus, Basher of Fash, Chris blissfully snorting detergent off Keith David's taint in a state of erotic splendor, Not Gay Ben, parentheses, I'm not gay. God is dead because he was burned alive by a man's holy semen. White guilt paying his reparations. Middleman Miguel. Middleman Miguel, John Strickland, Boo Sniggins.
Okay.
Mercs 1889. God King Mercs. The milkman that looks like Chris.
Who's that?
Is that Ted Navision? God damn it. Dank. Ooh. I clicked something. Dank Magician of Chaos. God give me cancer or give it to anybody. It don't matter. Whoa. Sanguine Cynthia. Jack McCann, the Irishman who will plant a burning cross outside of Derek's place of residence, but not in a racist way.
Oh,
just
okay.
Yeah,
it's fine.
So it's fine. Yeah,
no problem.
You came in my house. You came in my mouth. Hey, you're so fucking gay, dude.
You're so fucking queer for sucking my dick. I'm not queer though.
Yeah, I let it happen, and I want it to happen again, but I'm not gay. When in doubt, splooge it out. The First Church of Keith David, Goops Mackenzie, a sitcom where the main character gets JFK'd at the ending freeze frame of every episode. Levi, that reminds me of. Did you guys ever see Danger 5?
I fucking love Danger 5.
Danger 5 is so good.
Fucking love it. I love it. It should be on Netflix.
Danger 5 is I don't even know if I could tell you what it is without just showing it to you, because it's.
Well, you can't. Look, it's an Australian it's like a spy thriller comedy. It's like a spoof. And basically, this team is tasked to kill Hitler, and they fail all the time. That's all. It's great.
Yeah. And he always, Hitler always escapes by jumping out of the exact same window.
And the same window. Sometimes they flip it. Sometimes they just flip it.
Yeah.
Just so it looks a little... It's so funny.
But it's like they'll be on a submarine, and then it'll be like he jumps out of like a wooden bay window, and it's like...
Kill Hitler. It's great.
I love it.
Show.
I love Danger 5. If anybody listening hasn't seen Danger 5 yet, you should.
Fucking now,
Levi,
right now.
Levi Sutton, D. Ildo. Nice.
I love it.
2 fetuses tied together and used as nunchucks. Femboy Hooters waiter. Sammy and his big titty fishy. Charlotte Gerde. Drunken Dullahan. Or Doulahan. Ivan Ooze, except the ooze is actually old fermented cum. Pre-Roz, the messiah of rodents. We got a lot of cummy wummies. Chris Raygun 2020. Cum Man, the man of cum, who has to stop pledging next month because he broke his hand and can no longer work. I'll be back someday. Aw, man, Cum Man is gone.
Sorry about
we'll
your hand,
we'll miss you,
Cum.
Cum Man.
We'll be missed, bud.
Yeah, we'll keep you we'll keep you in our thoughts. My ankle is also shattered, so
Keep your
you're not
cum
the
in
only
your
one.
thoughts. And our thoughts.
Big
whatever.
Dick Teletubby, watch this tummy while you gurgle that cummy. Blake 896, the epic Oshawott, silly putty eater. Future Hendrix, the messiah of misogyny. Ace Man, fucking kill me. Sween listen to Czarface 7LES and inspect the deck rap about nerd shit like Marvel and D&D.
I know that song.
I have no idea. Apparently he knows it.
Inspector Deck is my boy, dude.
That's a good name, Inspector Deck.
Yeah, he's right.
I heard.
The fuck you say, bitch? Don't play
I
with me,
heard
you West Coast
Smokey-
dumbass. Fuck you. Fuck you.
I heard Smokey tossed Sweeney salad in the jungle. Holman Brown
That
98.
actually happened.
That did
Yeah.
not happen at all.
Hey boss, it's time for my monthly plea to get Chris and Derek to follow me on Twitter. I cry every night. He never puts
He never puts his name.
He never
Like,
puts
I think
like,
it's
we
Hey
would've-
Boss.
we would have done it already if you had an at. Like
Yeah.
just put your fucking ad in, idiot. I'm just kidding. Thank you for supporting us.
Idiot.
Ryan Lucchesi. Every Tuesday is a national holiday, henceforth known as Tomboy Tuesday. Good. I appreciate it. I vouch for that. Sloshy Scout, Atrasoni, 645AR, the most important rap artist of our generation. I want Derek to pound my tight little bussy. Tom Sweeney,
wow.
the atrocious alien fucker. Please check out my podcast called How Did We Get Here? Oh, we're on the 3rd page.
What?
We got 3 pages now. We used to only have 2. Now we're on 3 pages. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh,
Let's go.
man.
Bless this podcast.
God damn it. It's just getting out of hand already.
Our
Leroy
podcast
Jenkins.
is growing stronger every day.
Oh, God. We are growing a lot. Leroy Jenkins. God damn it. Michelle Obama accidentally sat on the drone strike button again. African Dog American. Hard Hat Skydiver. Ben Shapiro's secret AOC worship room. Chris has a high voice for a lesbian. I agree with the tomboy person.
Nice.
Ice Wallow Cum. Nice. I was
more cum.
cock blocked by a turtle. Alaskan oil field trash. Lieutenant Lipton's famous Seaback facials. Not an FBI agent. Juan Punchman. Marcus Shorten. Jim Crow's daddy issues. Abusi. Papa Nurgle. Blend a baby. Shake a shack. The best shake you'll ever make. HP Lovecraft's HP laptop filled with interracial hentai.
Oh my God.
Game Controller 25. Chris's cum dumpster. Cumster dumpster. Sorry.
Cumster.
Yeah, I want to say that right. Murder Ascended. David Connolly, the dyslexic that feels Chris's pain. Rip Bo Obama. You're done drone striking in heaven now, pupper. Damn you, Stormcloaks. Skyrim was fine till you came along. Empire was nice and lazy. If they hadn't been looking for you, I could... Lobotomize... That's where it ends. Lobotomize Jesus and his... Lobotomize Jesus and his 12 downy disciple diddle dogs for Dogecoin?
You
Holy
gotta calm
fuck.
the fuck down. You're gonna go to hell, bro. Seriously, stop.
You're in hell already, bro. You're
To the
fucking...
moon, nigga.
You're taking Elon Musk's fucking Hyperloop to fucking hell right now, man.
I'm about to Elon busting my pants after hearing that shit.
We should have talked about the fucking Elon sketch.
Oh, yeah.
That horrific...
Hey, I'm a warrior. I have
Dude,
Asperger's.
I can't believe...
That's y'all are niggas. Y'all is a bunch
I'm
of...
a warrior. I can guess how many marbles are in the jar by looking.
I'm really not good at social situation.
Dude, I can't believe Saturday Night Live did a fucking Mario gets high on mushrooms joke in 2021. Like, I couldn't fucking believe that. Like, did you guys actually watch the full sketch? I actually, for some reason, took it upon myself to do it.
I couldn't finish it.
I didn't watch it.
As soon as Wario started talking, I couldn't take it. I was like, this is
It
too
looked
much.
funny. It did look funny to me. I was like, oh, I might laugh at this, but like, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, that's laughing at it is completely different.
So I should say that I watched the whole sketch, and if you're listening to this in the middle of the fucking credits, big deal, whatever. This is content still. I watched the whole sketch, the whole thing, just so I knew objectively like what I was gonna make fun of, and I was like, all right, this is really bad, but the ending is kind of funny because fucking what is it? Andrew Cuomo comes out, and it's like framed as this like anti Italian defamation commercial. It's like, oh hey, it's not fair that we're stereotyped like this. It's like not a bad premise. It's just terribly executed, like in the worst possible way. Oh well. Cuomo. Anyway, back to the credits.
Wahoo!
Heiko, pink kryptonite makes Superman gay. By the way, you got a whole little conversation there in the middle of the credits. This is why you stay for the credits.
Wahoo!
Wahoo! 7-year-old fetus, Moto Zealot. Hey, you're finally awake. You were trying to cross the border, right? Walked into that Imperial ambush. Same as us. Fist bump to that.
Fist bump?
Hiroshima spicy mushrooms. Honest Abe's delicious goo crepe cookbook. Derek's unyielding sex drive. Dummy Thick Dave.
sir.
Heartless Wretch, a.k.a. the Ebony Goblin from the dump of NYC. Uncle Tony's Will Live Forever, You Plastic Snapple Bottle. The new Greta Van Fleet album is amazing. Anthony Fantano is just an asshole. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Yummy, yummy, come inside my tummy. There's one less yummy there. Very strange. Jackson Absage, Badly Brave, Jolly Old Dipshit, Hugger Derek, the movie theater assistant manager, Ethereum Mrs. Butthurt McGrama Cunt, Chris Gate, my Perjurian hunting ass, Deflated Left Ass Cheek, All Hands on Dick, Arrow, Sunny Chance, Derek, you should listen to Jezebel by Acid Bath. It's a good song.
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I don't remember though, but I know I did.
Damn,
Why'd you
all right, well,
so
fuck.
slow? Yeah.
I'll watch it. I'll listen to it again.
Well, yeah, well, that doesn't bode well. And the final 3 on the last page, we're up to 3 pages now, insane. I once kicked a dog so hard it slipped all the way across Lake Michigan like a flat stone.
Oh shit.
boy.
Richter 86, and as always, rounding out our list,
The king.
The king.
the king of haphazard, who, by the way, pays $30. He doesn't even need to pay $20. He doesn't even need to pay that much. This is a $25 tier, but he goes the extra $5 anyway.
It's because he has a big dick. He has a very big dick, dude.
Because he has a big dick.
People who pay $30 for this do have massive dicks. That's true.
That's just it's 100% factual information. So
And
I
that's,
appreciate you and your big dick, dude.
Yeah, that's gonna be it. I'm gonna go Hobble.
I gotta piss so bad, dude.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, we'll see you guys. Thank you guys again. We'll see you on the next episode.
Oh, the show I was talking about was Undeclared. It was it had the stupid people like that skinny guy and that other, the Seth Rogen people. They suck. Yeah.
Okay, we out.
All right.
Fuck you, little bitch.